We got you. You are a Philadelphia Eagle. Officially, we're on the clock right now. We just made a trade. Congratulations.
I got
We
you.
are so excited, man.
Hey, Jihad. Unbelievable.
Hey, what's up?
We were trying to get you for the last hour. You fit right in
Let's go.
perfectly. And
Yes, sir.
unbelievable. Jihad, congrats, man.
Jihad, Coach Sirianni
Hey,
here.
what's up, buddy?
Hey, congratulations,
Young, how you
man.
doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Hey,
I'm doing good, man. Hey,
Let's go.
I'm just blessed, man. You know, to add more value to the team, man.
Hey,
I'm
and
blessed
we know
right now.
we know you're going to do that. Sorry you had to wait a little bit. Go enjoy your night. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Well, I'm looking
Thank
forward
you.
to
I appreciate
looking forward to spending time with you.
It's time for the best pubcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
How you doing? This is Leonard Weaver, and you're listening to Corner Pub Sports, baby.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Corner Pub Sports.
Fuck with my ass, man. Yeah.
Yo. What is going on, everybody? Corner Pub Sports is live on a Saturday night, which is wild to say.
Saturday Night Live.
Is this the first time we've done a Saturday
Saturday
In the
Oh,
park.
God.
I think it was the 4th of July.
Yes, that's what you are. You are the motherfucking
People
anti-Semite.
dancing. A man selling ice cream.
You know way too many words of that song.
Ba, 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 ba.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, everybody, and we are welcomed by Keith and Chris of the Broken Bell Network, also Philly Pot, and also 18 other shows that they do. Welcome, guys. Keith and Chris, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to do a draft recap. We've been hoping to get you guys on for a little bit here, and we're glad to have you guys on with us.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
After
We
that
had you.
intro, I'm gonna just crack a garage beer
There you go, garage beer. There you go.
into my Phillies bag.
Oh, look at that thing. Look at that thing.
I knew he was going to do that.
I love it.
I knew he was going to. And it's so unnecessary. He doesn't even need to do it. Like, he doesn't need to use that thing. It's not like it's non-functional.
Jesus H. Christ.
I like it.
I like it. Well, I mean, while we're on that note, real quick, let's talk about what we're drinking. Where are you? So Chris, what are you? So you garage beer, right?
Garage lime beer.
All right. Keith, you drinking anything tonight?
Yeah, I'm vodka on the rocks tonight. That's just very
Jesus
simple.
Christ.
That's it's a nice
Wow.
light one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's you shouldn't you should be fine with that.
Yeah, it's a nice light drink. Yeah, you should.
His wife might get beat tonight. No, I'm kidding.
I told her to shut up.
If you could figure it out, dude, just let me know and I will follow your lead.
Nope.
What do you got there, Mike?
Oh, I got the Young's double chocolate stout because I still got 30 more of these that I got to finish off.
So,
Oh Jesus,
dude, he bought these cases at Ben Salem, right? Is that it? Ben Salem?
Ben Salem Beverage. Yeah.
Ben Salem Beverage.
Back in
Right-
January.
Right at street in like Humeville.
Probably.
And
yeah, it's right down the street from me.
yeah, and,
Oh, okay.
and they had those on sale for like, what was it? Like $6 for a case?
$8.99, and then it was buy one get one free
For a
because they're like expired.
There's your red flag. Like, there it is. Like, it doesn't need, there's no more explanation needed. There's the
Probably
label
it just doesn't have alcohol in it anymore. I probably just drink it and it's like, I'll never get drunk. That's all.
it unfermented itself.
Probably.
It re-fermented.
You would think that it would like age and it become like like in a barrel like the whiskeys, but it doesn't work like that.
Or the next day you're on the toilet like, why? Why is this happening?
It was a single stout. Now it's a double chocolate stout. Now I know why.
Yeah, it'd be a double chocolate stout tomorrow too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. What do you got there, guy?
Same thing Mike's drinking.
Are you drinking it? Are you drinking it? Oh, I thought you were drinking a Blue Moon. I got a.
It's got the nitrous thing in it. Yeah, you hear the little clank.
I got the
It's
old,
got it like
old
preserve it.
reliable.
Oh, it's got that little that little bullet thingy in it, like Guinness has.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a dollar store version of Guinness.
That's right, Keith. You don't drink beer, right? We talked about that.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I always think I do, right? Like I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll take a few and then by fourth sip of the same beer, I'm like, I don't think I like beer.
I don't think I like this. It's fair.
It's all right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, absolutely. Yeah, we talked about it when I was on with those guys a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I drank a lot of beer in college and through my 20s, and I just one day I just. Fuzz, you guys called me the human trash compactor. Like they would just hand me drinks and I would just finish them for people.
So we went out one night for a bachelor party and I think it was mine actually, and we were in lobster. What is it?
Red Lobster?
No.
Not Rock Lobster. It was Kavanaugh's Riverdeck.
Kavanaugh's in Delaware Ave.
Kavanaugh's, yeah. I remember.
So
Kavanaugh.
we're buying shots. We're buying shots. A bunch of girls buy mind erasers, and I'm like, I am not doing I am not doing that.
Oh.
And here,
what's a mind eraser?
It's like a
Not
layer
good.
of. It's
The
like
Bill
a layer
Cosby
of,
drink.
Yeah, really. It's like a layer of drinks, and you're supposed to sip each layer. And now here's Keith.
Oh God.
I feel like it's like Kahlua and like
Yeah.
vodka or something.
Something thick, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and the top's thick, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna die. And not a half hour later, he's sitting at the table with his head down, and there's there was when Kramer Ferns first came out, like the little sprint ones, these girls are like trying to lift his shirt up. I'm like, no. He wakes up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ,
Oh
the
God.
guy's about to die.
Yeah.
And then was that the night you slept outside, or was that a different night?
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah, like licking the first MILF pussy.
I was out front, and I'm like, they try to bring me in. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go in. I'm like, my wife's
You
going
get in
to kill
trouble.
me. I said that. I said my wife's going to kill me. And she was like, nah, come on in, dude. I was like, no, give me a blanket. She was the one saying, get in the house.
Oh
Mm.
God. Yeah.
And I'm like,
we went
no.
out. We went in. We gave him a blanket. We went in and we gave him a blanket, and he was cool. And I don't think he's drank beer ever since. To be
No.
honest with you. It's
Yeah,
all been
I'd
dirty
say
martinis.
I'm glad you learned your lesson. I
We
wish
have
I
not.
because I wish I learned mine because last Saturday I did not.
I didn't even think you drank that much last night.
I drank
9.5%.
9.5% or 7
Well, there
juice
was-
monkeys.
Was it? You had the mango cart and then the 6.
I had a mango. I'm sorry, a mango cart and
Right.
6 juice monkeys.
Did you say 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5%ers. Yeah.
Well, we actually tried to save you from yourself, and we drank most of the last one.
Did you? All right, so I had 5.5 and then a mango cart.
Like, what is it, Sean? Do they go down easy?
They're really
Hawaiian punch.
Oh, fuck.
you're-
Nope.
oh.
I would be in. Nope. Surfside. I can't fuck with that. I can't fuck with. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
I'm
just
sorry,
hear what
yeah.
he was saying?
Yeah, that was. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I can't fuck with Surfside. We went to a Phillies game,
Shit.
and what was it? It was a sweet game. Like we just made, I think my wife's work. We got tickets from her from the law firm, and when it's a sweet game, it's different. You feel like you're a big shit, but you're nobody. You're a nobody.
Yeah.
But you still act like you walk in like you belong there, and da.
Yep.
And they had a whole Surfside when you get off the elevators, like a whole entire Phil's win. It's about time that
Yeah.
they had to pack on a lot of runs to make that happen. But they're there giving us like just cups and cups and cups of certain. No, try this one. There's like 8 different flavors, and they're giving you like one of those little clear 8-ounce Dixie cups full of it. By the time I get to my seat or into the suite, I'm half in the bag from that.
You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go Sixers. They're like, sir, it's the Phillies game.
It's not good. It's not good. Those are the alcohols that
Those are
Yeah,
what-
so
speaking of Phillies, not to cut you off. Speaking
Go
of
ahead.
Phillies, real quick, we will get the Phillies a little bit later. We're going to cover the draft first. But Drunk Phillies fans jumping in here saying Phillies win, and they did
So they're back over 500 again. Hooray.
by a game. We'll get
Not
to
good
that.
at all.
But I got to admit,
Not good enough.
I really like the Drunk Phil's fans logo, the new logo they got going on there. That's the first time I've seen that logo. I really like it.
Is that
cool.
palm trees?
It kind of looks like Coors Light, like doesn't it kind of?
Oh
like
yeah.
the Coors Light top, and then it kind of not
Sean.
safe.
Have you guys watch them on Facebook, right? Or you just check theirs? Oh my God,
Hey, he's great. He's so great. It's so hilarious. Their content just. Like my wife always sits there and says, "I followed them first." I'm like, what?
Well, it was funny because we had followed each other like years ago, and then they blew up, and then we had Chris actually here doing the show here, and went to a couple of events and stuff, and I went to the bar where they do the show last year when the book came out. So great guys there. Mark, I cannot post that comment on our fucking thing, dude.
It's that bad.
Yeah, it's that bad. I cannot put that.
Is it on Facebook? I gotta check it out.
It's on Facebook. Yeah.
All right. You can't leave me in the dark here.
I can't put that on there.
Jesus, Mark, like how bad does that be for you not to make it on this show?
We might not even hear from Mark again because he might get banned off of Facebook after that.
Oh, okay. Well, he can't. He just said he can't say it.
No, can't do it.
No, it's probably for if Sean's being the governor and saying no, it's bad.
Thanks, Governor.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh, I just realized what it said. Oh,
Share it.
Here.
Oh, dear Lord!
Now he's laughing. So all right, so he's safe. Yeah, you can't do that. All right. Anyway, so what? But before we get into the draft, Keith and Chris, you guys are a part of another well-growing network. And why don't you tell the listeners about Broken Bell Network and all the podcasts you guys do?
That's you, Fuzz. You got this.
All right. So obviously, I started out the Philly podcast 6 years ago to bitch and moan about the quarterback controversy with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. And, I couldn't take Philly sports talk anymore. It was horrendous. So we started a podcast out. We would come over, we'd do it on Facebook Live, blah, blah, blah. COVID hit. Everything happened, and then we figured out StreamYard, and then, a couple times we did it, then we stopped. This year, we had a huge blow up due to a Thanksgiving video, which makes 0 sense, but it's the American way. And then, 2 years ago, we were sitting in Cedar Point, Ohio, in the water park, and me and Keith are like, why don't we do a Phillies podcast? And that's how the Hall of Fame Club podcast came about, the Phillies podcast. So then this past year, it's probably in like December or January, as we were like growing as our followers were growing, we're like, Keith's like, why don't we do a Northeast Philly podcast about pop culture? So we did that. And then Keith created the Broken Bell Network, which is, we stream the Philly podcast, which covers the Eagles. We do the Hall of Fame podcast, which covers the Phillies, the Northeast Philly podcast, which covers the pop culture, movies, sports, movies, anything pop culture. And then today we officially we got an a wrestling podcast called Over the Top. So that'll be starting up in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
And like I said, the Broken Bell, it's brand new, but we're up to 400 followers. The Philly podcast is up to 74,000 followers on Facebook. So that's that's like where our gravy is right now. We're trying to move the Broken Bell on YouTube. We have it there. We stream there all the time. So, like I said, we blew up because of a Barney video, and that was it. It's the American way. I went from 4,000 followers to 74,000 followers since November of 2024. It makes 0 sense, and I love everybody who follows us.
If you are a Philadelphia sports fan, you may not have realized it, but chances are you have seen Philly podcast come across your feed, a reel, a video, something has come up. I told you guys when I was on with you, a couple weeks ago that a friend in Denver sent me a video, and I'm like, it's so funny you sent me this because I'm going on with these guys on Sunday, whatever. It was
That's
like
fun.
Friday of
Wow.
that week. And I'm like, he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, like,
That was a fun show.
yeah.
So are you guys able to make any money doing some of the things yet, or you kind of still?
We're working on that content. Facebook and Meta is really weird with it.
Yeah. Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
so we're trying to push everything through YouTube. So
YouTube's a bitch.
Yeah,
YouTube's
it
a
is.
bitch to get.
I can't figure it the fuck out.
And every time that we post something, they hit us with something. I'm like, we have 52 followers. What are you banging us for?
Yeah.
Like, and we just had our biggest show on the NFL draft. We were there for 4.5 hours. We had like 10 different podcasts in there. We actually had Micah Parsons' brother on there, Terrence. I don't know if he follows me.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah. He was in his feelings because he is not happy with the Dallas Cowboys. He left. He's like, I got to go to another stream. And then when the trade was made for Travis Hunter, and then the Cowboys pick was made, he came back on. He's like, I don't know what they're doing. It was hilarious.
I'll tell you what. I think that wasn't a great pick. I think Dallas actually recovered pretty nice. They're second, third. Like they actually
the kid they took Michigan cornerback. Is that what he was? Michigan?
Okay,
I think so. If I could be way off, I'm pretty sure he's Michigan. That was a solid pick.
And then the third rounder was like somebody that was like
Their quarterback is still Dak Prescott, though.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take
the
Shador.
quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good segue. I mean, Keith, do you have anything to add before we move on to draft stuff?
No, I was like prepping my draft stuff. What I have, I was just winding up for that. It was sleeper that no one's really talking about so far about the entire draft is the Giants. I feel like they have made the most insane moves this past draft, and I'm scared for that, like because they're in our.
Sean and I were talking about this before the show. I said, the Giants have, quietly they have had a very good draft.
Defense. They built that defense up.
Well, I mean, Abdul Carter was an easy slam dunk pick,
Right,
but you know that when you suck so bad for so many years, you end up getting the blue chip guy like that. Like,
and you get your flags, you get your right. You're going to get those guys who are going to be that. Oh my God, he better be next level. But at the same time, the Giants are copying the Eagles' playbook. Right, everyone is starting. If you look at all these, they're starting to mimic a lot of Howie's moves. Running back heavy probably shouldn't have been, and so things like that. There are pieces that are moving that are very kind of like, I've seen this playbook before.
We got Michael Dunbar checking in saying the Browns stole Sanders, and I think what he's saying is that the Browns stole Sanders from the Eagles possibly, and we were talking about it right before the show. The Eagles did take a quarterback.
They didn't take him with that next pick though.
From Syracuse, it might not have been the next pick, but do you guys think that they were thinking about Sanders there?
I think they were. I think they
were.
were.
You think so?
Yeah. I've come to the conclusion.
How would Cleveland know that though?
It's just there's chatter. I just you don't trade up in that round. It's just my opinion. But I think the Eagles they changed. After the Jalen Reagor pick, I think they changed the way they draft, and it went from we're taking the best player unless something falls to us. Like Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter had zero business dropping to the Eagles.
Right.
Should have been Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell had no business falling to the Eagles.
Right. He should have. But it's I really think Shador Sanders was going to end up an Eagle. And why I wouldn't have minded it because he's a good college quarterback. I don't know if that's going to equate to the NFL. The guy was 13-12. He got blown out in the bowl games.
Yes.
So I'm the fact that the Browns could have got Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders is and listen, good for the Browns for getting Sanders. It's just a travesty that they didn't draft Travis Hunter, who is hands down probably the best player in the first 3 rounds.
They shouldn't have made I know they got a haul in that trade with Jacksonville. I agree. I think they made a mistake of not staying in that spot. You're bad for a reason. Take the best player that's available to you. Now, look, did the Browns make out okay? I think so.
But what are you doing?
They
you got 55.
Right? Yeah, but it's also
they got 55 fucking quarterbacks.
Right.
They got 55 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
why you drafted another one?
All right. Well, and they drafted one before. They drafted Gabriel before that.
Gabriel, I was just about to say, this is
Oregon.
4.
Yeah, so they traded up. They traded up to draft Sanders after drafting a quarterback earlier.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the Browns.
But
you know what they do.
The other thing is that I feel like the Eagles wanted Sanders they either would have taken him in a round before that, or they would have traded up to get him. Like I'm not buying that the Eagles wanted him, because Howie's not going to stand by. If he wants a guy, he's going to go up and get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I just this slide, his interview must have been like the Step Brothers interview, because there's no reason.
What, with his dad behind him?
Yeah, like there's no reason that he should have. It's one of these things that the 30 for 30 in 20 years is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, so
yeah, they're already making that.
While we're talking about the Sanders thing, I have to play this because I don't know if everyone heard this yet. I'm sure you probably did, and for those out there, maybe if you
I just love how I just can't wait till somebody stops Dion and asks him, and he's gonna have this big smile and this big shit-eating smirk, and oh, you know what? How great a day it is, and he's gonna try and play it off, because the motherfucker can never be real. He's got to be like, I fucking hate him.
So, wait a minute. Hold on. That's Deion Sanders. Like, we all know what he is, how he's flashy. He wants the spotlight. But you got to put that aside. That's your son. You want your son to have success. So guide him the right way. Maybe he wouldn't have dropped to the 5th round if you as a father would have guided him correctly.
Well, you know what? There's two sides of it. He might not have gotten drafted at all if his last name wasn't Sanders. And the other thing is that
he's not lacking talent, Mike. Like he's a good quarterback.
Well, that's a catch-22, right?
Is he not good enough to go in the 3rd round? I don't know, but to have him drop to the 5th round, like that's not good. That's terrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's the catch-22 exists in this scenario for Shedeur Sanders. You do not exist in this draft without who your father is, but you're not getting drafted because who your father is as well. Yes. So it's kind of like the catch-22. He has never known mediocrity, has never known being poor. He has always been in the spotlight to some degree in his life. There has been no real struggle that you can speak of. Even his record in college is mediocre. I think his curse is your dad is Deion Sanders.
But your dad also coached you, and you're like, and there's something to be said about the coach's son, but it's not the coach's son. It's not like Deion Sanders was a coach like his whole life. No. Deion Sanders decided one day, I'm going to try coaching. And then that's how he ended up coaching. And now and I'm gonna try coaching. We're gonna go to Colorado, and my son's gonna come with me, and he's gonna be the starting quarterback. Like, everything was handed to him. He never had to work for it.
Oh, right. No struggle whatsoever.
Before he went to Colorado, that was an abysmal organization. He turned that organization around.
He didn't. He's 12-13. He's a 500.
But it's better than what it was.
He turned a shit organization into a
piss organization.
Yeah, like an average.
So we had this conversation during the draft. Should his number have been retired? I don't
Absolutely
think
not.
Like, he wasn't the best. He's not the best quarterback in Colorado history. Yeah. I have no problem with Travis Hunter's getting retired, but the fact that you retired his number and Cordell Stewart, you just didn't even acknowledge him,
right?
I think, and the problem is because people who sit there and go back well, Archie Manning did the same thing for Peyton and Eli. The difference between 2004 and 2025 is social media. There is more stuff that is out. Like, if Eli Manning did what he did now with his attitude, he might not have been the number 2 pick or the number 1 pick.
That's true.
But you got to remember, we're in different eras, and people need to take that into effect. People bring up the issue of race. I don't think it's a thing. I just think it was attitude. They said he wasn't a good interview. You can't get past the interview. That's a red flag on a lot of teams. You're going to drop. I think
that's why Lamar Jackson dropped so far, is because he didn't interview well. I mean, obviously, he's proved teams wrong. He's proved the league wrong. He's a great quarterback.
Yep.
Does Sanders have that chance? Absolutely, he has that chance. But yeah, that means something. Those are good points. Absolutely.
And Lamar Jackson came from a small school, not a real successful school. So, I mean, that's an interesting comparison. I mean, obviously, Eli and Peyton. I mean, Peyton took the league by storm, and Archie was a quarterback, where Shedeur didn't have the pedigree of a father that played the position.
Yep.
And Archie wasn't coaching
his son
either. Yeah. So there's probably some similarities, but I think that
Did I put this up? I don't know if I put this
I
up
think
already.
that Peyton and Jesus, what the fuck is his name? Eli. Yeah, Peyton and Eli were both much better players.
So I was going to play this. The Sanders. So an old. Apparently, it's Ole Miss frat boys prank called.
Yes.
Oh no!
Did you hear this?
Yes.
You saw prank called.
I haven't.
So here you go.
So
this is
bad.
pretty. This is pretty.
So
awesome.
bad.
Hello.
You got that call.
Yeah, what's going on?
So he puts it on speakerphone in a second.
Ready to go.
Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Ready to go.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next speaker right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go.
Hangs up.
What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it mean? And you was on the phone.
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Sorry about that.
What round? When was this?
What the fuck? I don't know what that was. It's 50-50. But nobody got this number though.
Did they just troll, bro?
Okay.
Man, he just got trolled, bro. They tripping now, fam. Now I'm
Okay.
gonna crash out, bro. Oh.
That's pretty fucking
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
No, it's not. It's fucking hysterical. Dude, if I had his number, I would have done the same shit. Because I'm an insult.
I think I kind of would have did it too. I think it's hilarious. The guy's gonna make millions of dollars. I'm not. Like,
Apparently, they're claiming. So Ole Miss students are claiming that they were the ones who pranked them. How true it is. Whatever. That was funny as shit. He's like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait longer. He's, what does that mean? And the phone just hangs up. He's like, what the fuck?
Is there a video on this?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they were live. Dude. First of all, you know what? You deserve this because you had this. Dude, look at him with the case of garage beer.
Dude, he had that kid come in
Sure
like
I had her bring it down the case from upstairs.
beer wench. You're
Yep.
training your kids to be a beer wench.
That's awesome.
Hi.
What's up, beer wench?
That's fantastic.
He says hi. Here, put these in the
That's
freezer.
fantastic. So he had all kinds of cameras set up around him. The whole to do, right?
Put it in there.
People have their phones out.
Oh, yeah, I know,
all
I've
that,
seen it.
and he was live. He was live twitching it.
Right.
So he was streaming it, and that's what that streams from. Because
Right.
he took it down. Well, someone already captured it before he took it down.
Sure.
So they filmed it, recorded it, or whatever. But yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but
Like,
I mean,
love it.
most
I love it.
players end up doing that. Don't
As
they?
a podcast who's done prank calls live on the air, I'm so proud of those guys for pulling that off. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think that was phenomenal. NFL memes posted it, and I was like they posted the video of the actual guys calling it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time it's been done.
No.
But
But in the case like this, where like the dude has had all this coverage, mainly because his last name is Sanders. Let's be honest. That's the reason why he was getting so much attention as he had. Because is he really a top 5 talent in the league?
Clearly, he's not. I mean,
No.
even here,
But he's
looking
talked
at the
about
ranking,
like he was.
He was ranked 20th.
Even at the rankings. Was
Even the ranking. Now, by the way, when he finally got drafted, were you guys watching it when he got drafted?
I didn't see that.
he went nuts like it was the first round.
No, well, there's that, but no, the fact that like the Eagles picked next, and 6 picks went on, and they went on and on and on about Sanders. Like the whole next 20 minutes were about Sanders, and picks are just dropping and flying by. And Mel Kiper is absolutely livid.
That dude's a fucking asshole anyway.
He's livid. He's going off, and then like the other guys are like, "This is an abomination." Blah blah blah
Him and
blah.
his fucking vampire hair.
Yeah, and then the other guys are like, "Well, this is what it is." It's like they're stupid. They're like, "You're stupid." Da, da, da. And then like the other guy's like, "Well, this is the way." He's like, "No, it's not. No, it's not." He's like, "Who said that this is a? They're all idiots and stuff like that. Anybody that did this," and they're like, "Who would think this?" And like the NFL is the one that spoke. The NFL was the one that did it, and then they were like,
this is coming from the same guy who thought Jimmy Clausen is going to be a Hall of Famer, and if not, he was going to quit his job. Jimmy Clausen wasn't even a starter in the NFL.
Right.
And
I think he also had Geno Smith like 7th.
yeah,
I think number 7.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, like I don't know how he gets
age of stuff, man. It's so hard.
Mel Kiper was right, like in the 80s one time.
Uh-huh.
When ESPN was like really getting its like feet on the ground, and they were like, "Fuck it, we'll run with this dude."
Yeah, and they just kept them on because, I mean, look, are there things he gets, and does he do his homework? I'm sure he does.
No, he has a team of analysts by this point.
Look at this. Mike's gonna be dropping the double chocolate and doing some boom sauce.
Boom sauce.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
made with
Lord Hobo.
made with real baby batter. All right, so why don't we get to enough of the fucking Sanders clown?
But hold on, I'm gonna do. I love how Baron Sorrell, he got drafted in the Green Bay in the 4th round, and he walked out to the stage today and gave the first round hug. Dude,
That was
do
very
it.
cool.
Do it.
Very cool. Yeah, he was already in town. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So
you know who didn't? You know who hasn't gotten a lot of heat? Cam goddamn Ward. You're the number 1 overall pick, and you got no heat on you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look. I agree. First of all, if we want to talk about first overall pick,
Cam Ward,
I don't think there was any doubt that he should have been the first overall pick, right?
And in the defense of the media, everyone pretty much predicted it, and there was so much done, so many interviews done on him, so many packages were pretty much done on him. So I get it. What's there more to talk about Cam Ward? We knew who the first 5 were as a lock.
But
He's
what
got
if,
plus written
at
all
least the
over
first 4.
Except for the Patriots. What the fuck?
No, actually, he was every mock that I seen had the Patriots taking that lineman.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We had Patriot Pat on, and he was all smiles until that pick happened, and someone pissed in his Wheaties because he was not a happy man the rest of the draft.
Who did he want?
Not him.
Anyone but Will Campbell.
Wow.
I mean, I know Cam Ward. You're a quarterback. It's a quarterback-driven league. Like I would have been happy if Abdul Carter would have went 1, just to mess the whole draft up.
Yeah.
I just didn't want him to be with
the Giants.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
That's all right. He'll follow the same thing that they.
That's what I said.
We'll end up
have
with
him in
him,
3 years.
and then we'll end up with him. Yeah. Yeah.
In 4 years, we'll have them both. Both of them. All right, so the Eagles, they were slated to, pick at 32, and they make a big trade. They move up 1 spot.
Yeah. So,
which is great. I went to bed 5 minutes earlier. That's all.
Well, okay, but why?
Because they were afraid that another team was going to leapfrog out of the 2nd round into the 1st. They weren't afraid of the Chiefs.
Right.
They were afraid
that somebody was going to trade and that the Chiefs were going to.
That trade is yours.
But all reports are that the Eagles were trying to trade up
to get him,
starting at 22nd when the Chargers were on the clock. They were trying to move up,
and they were trying to move up to get him.
To try to get Jahad Campbell. Yes.
Like so they were trying for over an hour.
Yeah.
Now that's what he said. I mean, you have to take with a grain of salt.
I don't know. I mean, Schefter, Rappaport, and then how he said it.
I know how he said it.
I don't know.
I guess if they were trying and trying and trying, they're like, "Fuck it, we might as well try for this pick." But I just would be surprised if somebody was going to leapfrog for a linebacker as compared to a quarterback.
Yeah, I was for top 15 talent.
So the thinking was
I like the pick.
We are going to take any pick sooner than the pick that we have in order to secure him, and they went through every single channel, and that included even 31, and people going, that doesn't make sense, but that takes away the risk of the Chiefs giving it away to someone who will take him at 31.
That's true, too. Yeah.
I guess for a 5th round pick, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sure.
Correct.
Yeah,
and you don't want to lose the guy you want.
The kid's a stud. He was first all team SEC to 117 tackles. I think he had like 11 tackles for lost. he had 5 sacks. He's gonna fill that line. It's gonna be him, Zach Bond, and if Nakobe Dean ever comes back, I know he's off the crutches and the leg cast, so he's gonna go right in there. And I also think it was Vic Fangio saying, "Get this guy." I know a lot of teams. I know a lot of fans are worried about the losses that the Eagles got on defense, and it is concerning.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see paying Milton Williams $26 million a year.
That stat right there. If you throw that one back up, if
Absolutely
you throw that,
no, this one
stat right there. Yeah, the 117. Holy crap! Off ball
17
linebacker.
tackles.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Like even what Josh Sweat got. Like he's not worth what he was paid.
No, Sweat and Williams.
No way.
Like you lose those guys. Okay, fine. Great. Bon voyage. Look, you were great here. You're gonna pay Josh Sweat over $100 million for his 7 sacks a year.
Right. Hassan Reddick, same thing.
Yep. Good luck.
We lost Milt, right? So like you're looking at like a lot of these guys. I guess Nolan Smith is going to be the one who they're looking, to move over.
So the only thing that the Milton Williams signing did was do nothing but screw the Eagles, because Jalen Carter's going to get $10 million more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you got to see if Milton Williams is going to, and Josh Sweat. And Josh Sweat's a good player, but you got to see if Milton Williams is going to be able to live off of the double teams now.
Not having Jalen Carter off this side.
Not having Jalen Carter. Yes.
Like the one team that was able to manage after a Super Bowl win and managing players and salary cap was the New England Patriots. This is what happens.
Yeah,
After you win a Super Bowl, like you got it.
What happened 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl too? They got the cup ended up being barren.
Right. Like you got
to go broke. You go broke. Yep.
Right.
But hold on. I also think I'm gonna. We didn't have a good coaching staff, and I think Vic Fangio is the difference maker. Like that was the biggest signing of 2024. Wow.
I'm not going to argue with that.
But I think Vic Fangio can coach these guys. I think he's got the talent. When he was at Denver and he was at Miami, the Miami players were just there because it's 90 and sunny every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And Denver, they got in their feelings, with the exception of Justin Simmons. So I think Vic Fangio is that old school Jimmy Johnson, Eagles Jimmy Johnson, not Dallas Jimmy Johnson, Eagles Jimmy Johnson, who's going to hit you. And, because if you go back and you look at that playoff run, those players were getting hit that they weren't used. The first play of the game against the Green Bay game, that dude on special teams got rocked and fumbled the ball. Like some of these players were not getting used to hit. And it was the same with the Super Bowl. A lot of fans say they knew the game was over by the second quarter with the way they were hitting. And I think the way Vic Fangio coaches, they're going to be really good for the next 3 to 4 years. I don't think we're going to go into decline like we did in 2023. I could be 100% wrong.
Like Vic Fangio's defense is you got to apply pressure with your front four, and your linebackers got to be able to pick up what your front four doesn't get with speed.
Well, what Chris just said,
I don't disagree with that.
The way they're hitting your first two picks.
No, disagree. You're supposed to pop. Fuck you, Chris.
But those first 2 picks,
I'll disagree, just not yet.
Campbell and Mukuba, or whatever the fuck you say his name.
Makuba, the safety.
The safety, that dude can hit too. Like they're comparing him to CJ Garner-Johnson. He's
a spy safety.
I see it because of that, but I also see a mix between him and like an actual safety that actually tackles. Because let's be honest, CJ Garner-Johnson wasn't exactly known for his tackling.
No.
So this dude can put a pop on. So
he hits.
They got 2 guys in the first 2 picks, first 2 rounds that can lay the smackdown.
Yes.
And so
here's
Ibuka hit the hell out of Scatterbro in the playoffs. If you go back and look, and I think that was another great pickup by the Giants with Scatterbro, the running back.
Yeah,
he that, like you said, Ibuka. I'm not
Makuba. Listen, watch his films. This kid,
he's all
turns. He turns so quickly to the ball and to the play,
and he's quick side to side.
Wow,
he's a ball hawk.
Yeah.
I love it. You just replaced CJ Garner-Johnson.
Yes.
So
he reminds me of Reed Blankenship a little bit, where he targets guys.
Put that
like
stat
your first 3 rounds in the draft. They're easy to pick. Like 4, 5, and 6.
They're not. They're not easy to pick.
Come on, they're easier to pick than 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6
That's
is
when you have
what
to do your
wins Super
homework.
Bowls.
Well, we got
No,
lucky, I think, in round 5.
I know the quote. I disagree with the quote. The Eagles made the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl because they hit on their first 3 picks.
Well, then there's guys like Jordan Mailata.
Okay, Jordan Mailata. But no, I'm talking the last 3-4 years. It's the Nolan Smiths, the Carter.
Well, yeah. He's hit. I mean,
the Jurgens. He's hit on every one of his top 3 picks. Nobody hits on all the top 3 picks.
Howie's track record in the last 5 years in the draft has been insane.
But it's not the 5th round picks that are the reason that they won. It's not a lot of them.
That's also Bill Poland's quote. Who?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did he win? He won 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? As GM is the Colt.
I mean, I agree that the later rounds matter, but let's not like devalue the first 3 picks and make it like any asshole can make the picks.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I do want to say, like, there are also things that tip hands in the later rounds, like, like Shador was obviously. I mean, I as much as we don't want to admit it, Shador was on the Eagles' radar, like, and so that pick at what was it 141, 144.
Something like around
144.
Yeah.
I think, because we had 145.
It was 144.
Is that what it was?
Right. And then we got that corner. Like, so, like, it kind of, but in a way that's like a blessing, right? It kind of rounds us out in ways where, where are you going? Like, we didn't hit corners on free agency the way I thought we were going to. So,
we never,
we
didn't even take a tight end.
No.
We didn't, did we? They took I was right. I thought they were going to take it after McCord. They went with another offensive tackle, right?
Yes.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went 2 in a row. Yeah. Marcos, Shador, God bless you. Sure.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I go back to like when people, they discredit the Hurt Super Bowl, and I will never if you know sports, you're never going to discredit your quarterback because your GM built a great team through the draft. Yes, he got Saquon Barkley.
Are people that discredit Hurts' Super Bowl?
I mean,
discredit Hurts. Yeah, they don't think he's a top quarterback.
Yeah, they discredit him because he's got the Avengers. It's not my fault that my GM knows how to draft and sign players. It's not my fault that my GM didn't let the best running back in football walk away for pennies on the dollar. That's not my fault. That's not the Eagles' fault. It's not the Eagles' fault that they answered the phone. Tennessee answered the 267 area code, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you a first-round pick for a guy who ended up not having any touchdowns." I think that what was the side I said? I said AJ Brown has more Super Bowl appearances than this guy has career touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's not my fault.
Is that what happened? Yeah, he doesn't have a touchdown, huh?
That is not my fault. And as a fan, I'm going to live on dying the hill, and I will protect Jalen Hurts at all costs.
I love that stat too, man. That's a great one. What the hell was his name that they traded? Because that was the guy.
There was like 17 different receivers that were right.
The one they took, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that was probably the guy I was probably looking at." Yeah, and then the Titans took him, but I was like, "I don't care. Like, we got AJ Brown. Like, I already know what it." I remember saying, like, we already know what AJ Brown is. We don't know what this kid's going to be.
Yeah. Now, I was
Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks. That's it. There you go. Yeah.
I was playing devil's advocate a little bit, thinking that, all right, yeah, but you got to pay AJ. You're giving AJ the money, where this guy you're getting 3 years, and he might be as good as AJ. Clearly, he wasn't. Clearly, AJ was awesome.
You're probably the guy that stole his car, Mike.
Yeah, AJ Brown.
I don't have any black eyes, man. He would beat my ass.
Yeah, AJ Brown's car was stolen this week, and he went all crazy. He said, "All right, just bring it back, or
I won't press any charges.
Or
just
I'm
bring
gonna
it back.
find you. Yeah,
I'm gonna beat your ass."
Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Damn. And then Big Dom found it.
He probably did.
Did they find it? Did they actually find the car?
Oh yeah, they found it within three. He's got 1 career touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, so they had the same amount of touchdowns as Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, but I mean,
you can say Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah, Super Bowl appearances.
Right. I still like it. That's a great stat. All
right, I'll give a quick rundown since we talked. It's the grades and just what they said about Jahad Campbell and then Andrew Mukaba. So tough grading scale.
Makuba.
Okay. They gave a B. One guy gave a B. Philadelphia moves up a spot to select one of the best prospects, regardless of position in class. Campbell is built of a modern linebacker at 6'3", 233 pounds. He's a thumping hitter in a run defense and has athleticism to cover. This is a curious pick considering the Eagles just gave linebacker Zach Bond an extension, but Campbell could be used more as a pass rusher than during his time at Alabama.
Player comparisons to Campbell are Brian Cushion and Tremaine Emmons.
Emmons, yeah. So
Brian Cushion, isn't that the crazy guy who would smack his helmet into
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's this dude, like I said, there's no reason he should be an Eagle. It is just an overall steal of a pick. I think he is being undervalued by a lot of people, and they keep talking about this injury.
Shoulder. It's a shoulder. Like, it'll be all right. He's not a pitcher.
But my thing is like this. Like, you see the guy dropping off the board, and like the same thing with Cooper DeJean. You're just letting these guys go to the Eagles, and
what feed were you guys were doing your show? What did you have a feed on? Were you able to hear audio from the feed? Like, I don't know what you're watching, ESPN, NFL Network. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Rich Eisen was like, "How does this keep happening?"
Did he?
He's like, he goes, he does it again. He's the best GM in sports.
Yeah.
He's like, how does this keep happening for him?
Yeah, Eisen 100%.
Running down the tunnel. Oh, he goes, that shoulder looks pretty good to me.
Eisen 100% was the best that night. First of all, he's the kind of guy who doesn't give a shit. I think he's very happy in his career to say whatever he wants to. So I also think he is truly an Eagles fan.
Look at that cup.
That thing's ridiculous.
That's
so
ridiculous.
Stupid. You're so stupid. But the fact that Eisen it's a national conversation. How does Howie do it? I want to remind people Howie always hasn't done this. Let's take you back 11 years. 11 years ago, dude was a complete, absolute nerd. Everyone was making fun of him. Yep. He was having his job pretty much co-opted by Andy Reid at the time and Jeff Lurie. And then at some point, he has lost his job twice in this city. I want to say that.
Yes,
he lost it
he did.
once to Andy Reid, then he lost it to
Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Got it back, started rebuilding, kind of remolded himself and rebranded himself, and started using that time to kind of like learn from other people's mistakes. But at the end of the day, he hasn't always been a mastermind and a genius. But he has learned, and he has learned from those mistakes. And I don't think that's where the credit is. People are like, how's he do this? He's failed enough to be able to learn how to do it.
Yes.
Not only has he failed enough, but he's got to watch pretty intelligent people and shadow them. And he also got to watch some of the mistakes that they made and learn from their mistakes. He got to watch Joe Banner manage the cap as a numbers guy, better than anybody else in the league was doing. He also got to watch Joe Banner be a complete asshole and a not personable enough to understand that that's part of the job for it. And that ended up, he watched that happen and watched Banner suffer for that. And he said, if I could learn the numbers, but I could be more personable, then I could do wonders.
Mm-hmm.
He watched Andy Reid do it for years, learned from that, learned what not to do from Chip Kelly, learned to be humble after what happened with Chip Kelly.
Yep.
And then and the other thing is that he's one of the few GMs out there that's not looking over his shoulder every year. He's got job security. He's done well enough to where he gets to think the long game. He gets to play the long game. He doesn't need to win now. He does win now, but he doesn't need to win now. He can make decisions that are going to help the team out 2-3 years down the line. He's building in the trenches. He learned that from Andy. Build through the trenches.
100%.
Draft, your offensive linemen 2 years before you need them. Cam Jurgens is going to replace
Landon Dickerson was taken early.
Landon Dickerson.
Yeah.
Every year he replenished, not in the first round, replenished in the second round and let Stoutland have a year with them to ease them in for the next year. And that's what they did to build through the trenches and made it work.
I don't understand Howie no doubt has sold his soul to the devil.
I guess he's just basically saying that like he's that good.
And you go back and you look at another thing, like Landon or like Howie does take these flyers, like he does his homework. Landon Dickerson came off a torn ACL.
That's right.
He's an All-Pro.
Yes.
You got to start thinking like Howie. Like it has to be. You have to start as a GM. You have to start, and I think that's what they're starting to do. They're like I said, they're not taking what they need unless it's a quarterback. They're taking the best available player at that time.
You know what? But Landon Dickerson was a third-round grade because of the torn ACL. He was first-round talent, but a third-round grade. When they drafted him early in the second round, I remember I was like, what are they doing?
That was the Devontae Smith draft, right? Devontae and then with Dickerson, is that right? Or is that Jurgens?
I think that was Jurgens.
I think Jurgens was that one.
Yeah, Dickerson was a little before that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It was
But
Jurgens.
I remember even Cam Jurgens, and Ryan's not on with us. I remember when they took Jurgens, and there was something with Jurgens too.
Maybe that he was going to be a center, and we saw
it. And Ryan
it was a move on position.
Yeah, and Ryan was not on board. I remember he was like, "Oh man, I don't like that second pick." I'm like, dude, they gotta start looking at Kelsey's replacement.
Oh
you know?
well, yeah, they were like,
he was taken in 2022. He was a 51st overall pick, so they were like,
okay.
Oh well, yeah. What did you guys think?
That was Kelsey's recommendation.
Yeah,
Yep.
It was.
What are your thoughts on the kid out of Nebraska, Ty Robinson?
So you brought up, and Mike's going to do the rundown in a second. You brought up the Milton Williams. I think Chris might have brought that up. About the Milton Williams thing. I think on paper, this dude looks like he could be the prototypical perfect replacement for Milton Williams inside.
He's still playing next to Jalen Carter, so that's going to help.
He's huge.
He's bigger. He's bigger than Milt.
6'6",
Wow.
310. He ran the best 40-yard dash among defensive linemen.
For what, 9?
4.83.
Ty Robinson?
Holy shit.
Ty Robinson ran 4.8.
I heard he's 288 pounds.
He's 310 now, apparently.
Wow.
Apparently, so I saw the same thing you saw. When he was a senior, he was in 280 or something.
Okay.
Now he's 310.
No shit.
Yeah, he's bulked up even more.
So I guess he's not slightly undersized anymore.
He had the third best bench press, the fourth best vertical, whatever that's worth. I don't put too much stock into that. 7 sacks last year, but everyone's saying that he's basically like the most athletic defensive lineman in the draft.
They said he's your cheap Micah Parsons. Like you're getting Micah Parsons for cheap.
Yeah, but Micah's he's a tackle.
He's a tackle, but what he's saying is like as far as like being a defensive
athleticism. Yeah.
He looks like he can run through a fucking wall.
Yep.
He's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not talking shit to him if I'm face to face.
They said if he wants double digits tackles on the season, he probably should not have an issue with that.
Especially with Jalen Carter, right?
Yeah.
What was the one comparison I loved? Someone said, "Holy shit, he looks like a Steeler from the '70s," and I'm like, and looking at the picture, I'm like, shit, he does. He looks like a Kevin Green if Kevin Green played in the 80s or 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, you have these two animals just lining up on you, and you got to remember when I say animals, I'm like, Jalen Carter slapped someone straight in the helmet. didn't give 2 fucks, and he did it twice. He knocked the one. He knocked the Washington center out of the game. Didn't give.
We
Get
got
the hell
audio
out of
then.
my face.
We have audio. Right off the side of the field.
That is correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Like I
Two
said.
soundboards.
Oh my god, we got 2 soundboards. Oh my
Two soundboards.
Oh, Jesus.
And for everyone's pleasure, this is for Mike.
Oh no.
I'm gonna drink to that.
He played the marriage sound.
There's some pink cheeks.
So Sean's buying shorts today, and he sent the picture.
Oh, dude, I'll put it up on the feed.
He sends a picture, and it's like two guys wearing like shorts,
dude,
like almost hugging each other. And Sean's like, "What is this? Why is this coming up on my feet?" I'm like, "Well, you remember 2 years ago when you."
I'm like, why is that?
Well, one's for the white fucking shorts, one's for the black.
I'm buying shorts, and I'm like, that's the ad I get? Is that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Whoa, I'm not done. Whoa.
Now it says 2-in-1
Put it
work.
back up.
Put it back up.
I'm not done.
Yeah, he wants to see it.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
I think Keith is moist now.
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
You both hit the soundboard at the same time. What is going on?
Ain't nothing like a drippy taint.
Inconceivable. Oh
That's
my god,
fantastic.
this is
I love it.
phenomenal.
No, this is fantastic. Mark's dying. Mark's like, what the fuck?
So
What
stupid.
happened?
My name is Barry Larkin. Is this two people working out or two people having sex?
Oh, so have you listened to the episode yet?
We did. We got yeah. So good. So good.
I think that's what I heard in there too in that episode. It's so good. It's so good. The tip
You
doesn't
lost.
count.
It might have been.
You
It might
lost.
have been.
I don't care.
Yeah, it might have been in there. Yeah, so that's what I think about Ty Robinson, despite the fact that he has the same name as my biological father.
Yeah, so the
Okay, take that shit to your therapist. It's got nothing to do with the Eagles.
no, that's a good point. Sean needs therapy for a lot of things.
You know what happens if you do another turn in the joint? Fuck your father in the shower and then have a snack. You're gonna charge me, dickhead?
You said that's Usual Suspects, right?
It is Usual
Yeah.
Suspects. Yeah.
Keeps me coming day and night.
So yeah, this is one of the few, maybe the only one that they gave an A grade to. It said Robinson is slightly undersized. Apparently, that's not true. At 288, but he's very explosive and athletic enough to work on stunts and other games on the defensive line. He'll be a great addition to the defensive line rotation as a rookie.
I love it.
And he's got a bad attitude. Like the guy's got
nasty, you mean?
yeah, he's got a nasty
Yeah, all
attitude.
right. Probably a redneck. Where's he from?
He is 100%. I
He
watched
plays
his
for Nebraska. He's got to be a redneck.
Yeah.
a complete shit kicker.
I love it.
He
He's a trumper. He's
yep.
gonna come in.
No,
and
well, here's the deal. I watched his press conference, right?
He's
And
Landon Dickerson on the defensive side of the football.
There you go.
He's a sweetheart on the mic, though.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I'm really happy to be. And then I watch his like his film, and it's like him like this, basically just severing dudes' spines.
just, like,
Go fucking Birds! I'm sorry I stepped on your fingers, but I got tired of you.
Like
guarding
Mike
my
Tyson?
Jersey.
yeah.
Yes, I speak very eloquently.
Eloquently. That's awesome. We might need to call him.
Awesome.
That's going to be the name of our. I speak very eloquently.
It's
Awesome.
unequivocal.
You're gonna have Jordan Mailata apologizing for kicking your ass in a football game, and you're gonna have this Southern dude apologizing for destroying your quarterback.
Oh, sorry, mate. Did I come in and I just all ruin your day? Didn't mean to do that.
With my sweet voice.
I love it.
I told you I want Jordan Mailata one time to just line up in the backfield and see what defenses do, because
Well, they take the push away. Guess what's happening?
So
Yeah.
it was funny. So the other night when we did our show,
Wait a minute.
we had a Packers fan on, and he was mortified. That he's like, I can't believe it's my franchise doing this. He's like,
Well, and did you see LaFleur getting asked about it? And he's like, "Oh no, I don't like it." This, and he's like, "Yeah, he's sideswiping it." And,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
throwback.
Well, you have a gargantuan like Jalen Hurts running it. It works for them. We tried to run it too. Well, you have a pussy quarterback, and that's why you can't.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's a gargantuan.
Not Josh Allen.
I know there's Jordan Love. I know, but like there's like he's not the biggest quarterback.
Jordan Love is soft.
Jalen Hurts isn't the biggest quarterback.
Wait a minute. Well, no, Jordan Love's taller.
Yeah, he's just soft.
Yeah, but he looks like he's a twig in comparison to Jalen Hurts.
Right, but Josh Allen isn't, and he couldn't.
he was over 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he didn't want to get behind center that close.
Let's see how stinky those fingertips can get.
He's like, I don't think I want to do this sneak.
I got these cheeseburgers.
What was he? 2 for?
You are begging for more stuff on the
I know.
soundboard.
He was 2 for 6, right, in the championship game. I think when they did it 6 times in the AFC Championship game. He only got it 2 times.
Yeah.
So and then that's McDermott. I know we're jumping around, but still, McDermott was another one. I don't like it.
Right.
Well, I lost a lot of respect for you, you pussy. So
Yeah,
that.
you don't like it because you couldn't do it, and the Eagles could.
Right.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Well,
I'd rather them come out and just say it. Like, I'm tired of seeing the Eagles be so successful. That's it. I'd have more respect for you if you said it.
Yeah.
If you came up with the bullshit answers.
It doesn't look like football. It looks like football, dude. It looks exactly like football.
Yes.
You have a yard.
Yeah.
We're going to get that yard. You need to stop us.
You're just mad because your mom didn't get her tush pushed.
I could have out. That's what
Oh, great. 2 soundboard guys. Oh, my God.
Erroneous.
All right, Mike. What you didn't do your breakdown of
I love you, Sean.
Makuba. Yeah, man, this is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So
They hate us too. You know they're hating us right
Fuck them. They hate us because they ain't us.
now. That's right.
Giddy up.
So
That's
Makuba,
right.
they weren't happy with. C
Really?
plus grades on both. It says how we were.
Who did this, by the way?
USA Today.
All right.
Irrelevant newspaper.
Well,
It
it
should
doesn't
be-
matter. It's 2 assholes. It doesn't matter who it is.
Right, but we're going to talk shit about it because that's what we do.
Yeah. Howie Roseman deserves the benefit of the doubt on a secondary pick after he aced last year's haul of Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. But despite his instinctive coverage skills, Makuba shapes up as potentially a liability as a tackler while offering a pedestrian athletic profile.
Yeah.
The other thing that says is the Eagles' lone weak point on the roster may have been after trading away CJGJ. Makuba is undersized at 5'11", 186, which may show up in NFL more than in college. He had great ball production and shows an impressive commitment to the run, the defense, despite the smaller frame.
That's good.
There are other safeties on the board that likely would have been a better fit, though.
So
I will say this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
did want to add this in.
Yeah.
USA
The Eagles
yesterday.
traded their 3rd round pick that ended up being Xavier Watts that was rated higher than who they got in the 2nd round. So they could have drafted
Watts.
somebody that possibly Watts that that arguably could be considered better a whole round later that they ended up trading back out of.
But at the same time, like Keith and Chris, and and you actually, Mike, you guys were talking about Fangio earlier. Maybe Makuba fits Fangio's defense better than what Watts did. I don't know, because the thing someone I really trust. Brian Baldinger to me does some of the best film breakdowns. I don't know how you guys feel about him. I love him. His breakdowns are fantastic, dude. He was all over Makuba. Dude, they drafted him. Boom! I went on Facebook. He already had the video ready to go. He goes, "Well, the Eagles just took this guy. I just want to show you how good of a player he is and how." And they showed that about the run defense. He'll play anywhere. He goes, "What do you call him?" He called him called him a rat. He said he's a rat. You don't know where he is. He hides here. He hides there, and he just pops out of nowhere and that whole non-physical tackle thing. Everything I saw, this dude can hit.
Yeah,
dude, he lays a shoulder into people. Like, he's a big hitter. I'm look.
Against
that, so
again, first of all, Fangio did a fantastic job. He's the one that discovered Bond and made him what he was.
Mm-hmm.
He made that defense fantastic and a Super Bowl caliber, Super Bowl winning defense. If Howie with his track record and Vic with their track record, if these are the guys that they like, then they get the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm gonna be confused on some things. I'm going to critique some things, but at the end of the day, I'm still trusting them.
Yeah.
I just need things to make sense, and that's just how I am. And
this is completely a Fangio pick, right? Like, no one's denying this. This is a kid who is built for his system. And it's the speed, it's IQ. They look for smart players. I think they picked him because he is a smart player. It's and I know it's cliche. We say we go for these bulldogs all the time because that's our farm system, but there's something to say about how they run their team operationally, and I'm not saying these teams do not run operationally, well. They all must have to at some degree, but the players showing up and learning and knowing and dealing, and then what does Jalen got? A 97% audible rate? Is that what it is? Like that's smarts. That is intelligence. That is because when you have a 97 and it works and you win a Super Bowl, it means something's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the things that people aren't looking at, the naysayers and all this stuff, and he's not elite and this and that. How many times does he go up and change everything? He sees something he doesn't like, or when he does it, it works. And people, and when he needs to make the throw, he makes it. I actually, not to
he's gotten smarter actually.
But when I added that epilogue in the book, I brought that up. I said, look, was he the most flashy quarterback this year? No. But when he was asked to do something, he did it. He needed to make a throw. He did it.
He's not going to put up. No, he's not the guy that makes every spectacular play. He doesn't put up the video
He's
game.
not going to throw 400 yards.
But I've said this before. What I've always said is that when you need somebody to make a play, there may not be anyone better.
I mean, he's proven that time and time again.
But he doesn't have to be flashy and elite. He's got Saquon Barkley behind him.
Right.
Like he don't have to do it.
But there's no highlight reels anymore. He doesn't have anything to prove. You're already on the biggest stage.
Right.
You don't have to make, oh shit, did you see that record play? Nah, I don't need to see that record play. I need to see the record season that led to a Super Bowl parade.
But, I mean, would I take Mahomes and would I take his, ridiculous playmaking over?
Yes.
Yes. That's unequivocally yes. But
who wouldn't?
But
what are we talking about?
There ain't anybody else that I can unequivocally say.
There's probably four. There's probably four. We talked about it in your show, guys. There's
Josh Allen,
Burrow,
Lamar. Burrow. Here's the funny thing with Burrow. I actually put behind Hurts with a lot of my listings. If you're going by stats, Burrow, yes, above Hurts. But if you're going for the one stat that matters, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 ring, Hurts gets that bump. But I can see how they're almost equivocal. They're identically interchangeable to me.
Shouldn't he get the bump over Allen for the same reason?
Nope.
Well,
I'm taking Mahomes and I'm taking Joe Burrow over Jalen Hurts. That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's it.
Not Josh Allen.
You're not taking Josh Allen over?
Nope.
No? You put Josh Allen on the Eagles? That's how I'm thinking, right? You put those guys, you put these guys on the Eagles. To me, Justin Herbert's the cutoff, right? So Justin Herbert's 5 or 6. I'm taking Hurts over Herbert because I think Hurts has more of a clutch gene than Justin Herbert does.
I don't know if Herbert's even top 10 anymore.
He's definitely top
10.
I'm
even taking Hurts over Lamar Jackson.
Top 10.
What about LJ? Yeah.
Lamar Jackson crumbles in the playoffs.
Right. I would take Lamar Jackson over Herbert in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I'm not taking him over Jalen Hurts.
These guys don't perform in the playoffs. It's just.
I'm not taking Jackson over Hurts in the playoffs.
If you're looking at quarterbacks who win and lead their team to victory, Jalen Hurts does enough to get this team to win. Lamar Jackson doesn't. Josh Allen doesn't. Josh Allen just you just said, he doesn't have the gene.
Eagles are stacked. Don't forget.
But
they are.
So is Buffalo. Buffalo's got a top tier offensive line, and he goes 2 for 6 on a tush push.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Do you who do you want to blame? Again, I go back to what I said earlier in the show. I am not blaming my GM for putting the Avengers around Jalen Hurts, and then when you need a play from Jalen Hurts, he's going to get it. They shut down Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts showed us what he can do, and it's the most scrutinized Super Bowl winning quarterback in NFL history because it's Jalen Hurts. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. The hate that he's getting and the disrespect that's still coming around, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. I really don't understand it. The only thing
they
I'll
don't
say,
hand out MVPs in the Super Bowl for no reason.
So Gary, you're taking Hurts over Lamar Jackson, which I think I think it's crazy.
I actually would take Lamar Jackson over. Like I would put Hurts probably 3. I would take Hurts over Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson probably not though.
Yeah, I mean, like Mark Andrews drops that 2-point conversion, and they're probably they're probably playing they're probably going to beat the Chiefs and playing the Super Bowl.
But Lamar Jackson also had 2 turnovers that game.
He does, and he does turn the ball over, and
he had 2 turnovers.
And that's something. And
yeah, but that's the same thing. And that's the same thing with Josh Allen.
That's a great point because everyone who puts these guys, and I'm one of them. I'm putting both these guys ahead of Hurts, and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. And you know what? Fuck it. Guess what?
It's good to be because he's your guy.
Listen, I hated the pick in 2020. There's live video of me going nuts over it, and I did my apology during 2022.
Nope. Fuck you. The one thing I can always say about this is I wasn't wrong about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he was. He liked him. I was like, this guy sucks, and I was wrong. And I did my apology tour in 2022. I'm done with it.
Round grade. I remember it was a 4th round grade, and I remember it didn't make sense because they had Carson Wentz. And
that's why Chris started.
And I was also pissed off because I was pissed about the Jalen Reagor trade or the Jalen Reagor pick over Jefferson.
Yeah, well, so I liked Hurts because he was an added value pick, right? He was a huge pickup in the 4th.
Second, he was second.
He was second. I mean, whereas like that to me was like a huge value pick where I get what you're doing. You didn't get a chance to bubble wrap Wentz. Wentz is looking weird. Now you get a chance to develop a guy. I liked it. I liked it for what it was developmentally, and I was sick of picking up quarterbacks across the league, hoping that they could put the team together. You got to build it from the ground up.
It goes back to Howie looking and seeing 2017, 2018, 2019. Every single season, Carson Wentz got hurt. And he was like, I need a backup quarter. I need a good backup quarterback. You know,
But he was going to be a bubble wrap. For sure,
I was a Carson Wentz guy, and I was livid. I think I really got drunk that night.
I was in the same. But we actually did the show live as they made the pick, and we're like, "What the fuck?" Like, look, I had nothing against Hurts because I knew his pedigree in college. I don't watch.
He was great. He was great in
college. I don't watch a ton of college football, but I know enough. And I'm like, all right, look, I know this guy's productive. I know he's a pretty good quarterback, but like, why are they doing this in the second round? All they're going to do is cause us a headache. And for that first year when they kept
was a headache.
Remember they kept putting Hurts in the certain situations, 3rd and long or whatever it was.
Yep.
And you're like, this ain't gonna fucking work.
But there was problems with Carson Wentz in the front office when they
and we didn't know that at the time,
right?
And then everything started coming out.
That's why
I remember someone, I think it was Kempsky, ran a story and was talking about how Howie.
Yep, it was Kempsky.
Had a big giant, fat head thing of Carson in his office and all this stuff.
And there was who else was it? Fletcher Cox, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, it was Wentz and Cox. Yeah, but, I
think how we learned from that too.
Speaking of,
like Wentz couldn't get over the fact that
speaking of Cox,
we go.
He beats Cox.
There it is.
Wentz couldn't get over the fact that Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and he was the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, we know.
He just couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
We've been through this over and over, and we're over it because guess what? We've been 2 Super Bowls since.
Yeah.
He's won 1. He's won as many as Wentz has.
And he's got an MVP as well.
And he's got his Super Bowl MVP. And we're good. We're good. Wentz is basically a journeyman at this point. Chris, I was with Chris on that. Like I had a Wentz jersey. I had a fucking thing. Yeah, like I loved him. I thought
there was a big fight down here. When with these guys, you thought they should pick Wentz. These guys,
no. Mike wanted Tunsil.
Yes.
Mike wanted Laramie Tunsil. I said, you can't. No, you got it. You need a fucking. What's the most important position? Fucking quarterback. Blah blah blah. I remember that conversation.
Yeah, I remember thinking
Tunsil,
that like
Tunsil ended up being a great player.
Yeah,
but they wanted. All right, maybe I'm gonna open up a fucking.
Sean, you got up and said you guys are fucking clueless. Up the steps you went.
I fucking walked off. I
got us a Super Bowl.
We wouldn't have won the Super Bowl with Laramie Tunsil instead of Carson Wentz.
Right.
That's accurate.
It definitely, and again, it was a part of, I truly believe it was a part of like how Howie was learning to construct a team. Like,
yeah,
he did put a lot of homework into Wentz. Now, Wentz just did not work out for just those for various reasons, and I think that's personalities and whatever. But there it is.
There it is. Wentz jersey.
I got my beer. I got my beer wench, and she's got all my money now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He caught her. So, Chris, I don't know if you saw Mark.
He doesn't fit in that anymore, by the way.
Mark Polsky's comment earlier. No one wears that anymore. You changed that to brown. He said, "Wow, he's training his kids to get his beer. You got to jump on that train, Sean." He told me so.
That is correct.
Listen, my like the one who was just here, I had her trained during COVID. She knew how to open a Corona, the correct lime that goes in, and she would hand it to me.
Inconceivable.
That's well done.
There's actually a video on my Facebook page from when the Eagles drafted Carson Wentz, and she this is 5 years ago. She's like, "I'm gonna go get you a beer and some lime. I'm gonna get you a Corona." So,
my kid knows how to make my vodka on the rocks dirty.
Nice.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. My kid knows when I drink beer. It's like, oh, your breath smells like beer. I'm like, yeah,
my kid just got a cell phone and she knows how to use it pretty well, and she also got in some pretty big trouble last
Daddy,
night.
what's
I'm not going to get on.
Daddy, what's Pornhub?
Yeah.
What's X Hamster?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know.
Dude,
All
you're right across from him. You could just you don't have to take this.
Right. So, Mike, why don't you give
Oh,
your,
no,
no, go ahead. Why don't you give your rundowns in the next few picks? Because I don't want to go through every pick, but we've done the most important. Well, I don't say most important, but we've gone through the first three.
Right. So we're into the fifth round
because they traded away the fourth, which everyone was thrilled
that's
about.
The other thing. They traded back and traded back and traded back, and they stockpiled more picks, and it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It didn't make. You got a poker game afterwards or something, Chris?
No, my kid is I had money lying around because my wife had to buy stuff for school, and they all sent her the money. So I was like, she gave me the cash, and she used my card.
Is she the part of the home and school association? Is she
the parent?
Yeah. I get it.
I'm like,
anyway,
here's my card, give me the money.
Yeah, I get it.
So that was the thing. It just didn't, and that's the part that it didn't make sense. The trading up didn't make sense, and then you're in the third round, you trade back a couple picks, then you trade back again. I'm like, you guys have 12 picks next year. You guys have so many picks. You're not going to be able to use.
Were you yelling at your TV screen at Howie Roseman?
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
Is that what you're yelling at him?
No, I wouldn't say that because I trust Howie.
All right, good.
And I wouldn't call somebody a Jew motherfucker. I just, to be clear.
So
that's the shit that you guys pull.
Does anybody follow Annie Agar?
No.
Yes, I follow her. Yeah.
I don't.
She came out the other day with an NFL draft video, and it was the Eagles trying to trade up, and they're like, "No, you can't trade up." They're like, "You have more weapons than John Morant." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Well, so it's funny you say that because
I don't follow her, but I see enough of her stuff on
Yeah,
Facebook.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
And that's the truth. The fact that an anonymous NFL GM said, if we see 215, we're not answering the phone.
That's
crazy.
Okay,
that's bullshit. That you're that
but
jaded.
They've been talking about that for years.
That's a joke. I think that's just a joke that got out. I think that's just a line. First of all, you have 20 picks over 2 years. You got to be talking to them motherfuckers. There's no way you can ignore that phone call.
Yeah.
Well, there's the other thing that I forget an old GM or something. It's like, got to be careful, Howie. He's like, every time that Howie walks up to somebody, he's like, oh, we got to make a deal. I've been meaning to make a deal with you. Got to make a deal.
Yeah.
And then every time you're on the losing end of it, he's like, man, I think that he basically was the one that started I'm not taking a phone call from him. So anyway, but yeah, so trading back.
And then when the trade's done, they're just sitting there going,
"We'll all be a shit-covered dick."
You serious, Clark?
That is one of the that is one of the. There's got to be. I have not been able to use that outside of the soundboard here, but there's got to be a time where that comes into play.
Please record it.
Yeah. So they went from 96. 96.
I don't know if that was real or the soundboard. That was pretty.
We're on the fart noise sound part of the show.
Well, hold on, wait. Can you name it?
I know that.
Yeah, you do.
I do not.
You don't. No, you don't. You don't.
God damn it! I can't.
Everyone
place it.
owned a Nintendo.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the sound and I can't place it.
Metroid.
No,
shut the fuck up, dude.
You see how I'm treated?
Yeah, you know that's how we treat Gary. So
it's Zelda.
It was Zelda.
Was
I
that Zelda?
actually did think about that for a
That
second.
sounded
That's when
too-
you.
That sounded too good to be Zelda, though.
Yeah, it sounded.
Yeah, that's like.
That's when you get like
Is that
the new
SNES?
sword.
When
or
you get the
something?
heart.
Oh, when you get a heart.
All right.
That's in the first one, right?
Yeah, you hold it above your head.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So do your breakdown. Sorry, Mike.
So yeah. So
10 minutes.
So
later.
they go one.
Sorry, we got
95.
ADD.
Yeah, Gary heard.
Gary
upstairs.
just said Sal at the same exact time. He's coming down the steps.
Oh, he knew you played the soundbite.
No,
yeah,
At the same exact time.
that's
I
right. He
played
didn't
it,
even know
said
you're.
it.
Yeah.
His headphones aren't even on. That's awesome.
So 95, they move down to 101. They get like a fifth back to move 6 picks, or no, they maybe they got like the sixth in the next year's draft, and then they move from 101 to 111. And then there's like a
But
they
they
move up.
gained a pick in that.
They
in that
gained
trade.
like a 6th round pick and moved up 4 spots from like the first pick and the 5th. To
Yeah,
like
they
later
moved up
pick
a
and the fourth.
few.
From
They
150 to 145.
Right, and then
gained
they
a pick.
moved back from 145 to fucking no. They actually picked the 145.
That's they picked up that 145, and they were hoping to move for. I think that was the move for Shador, but you know, yeah, that man, that got really crazy there. And I didn't
And the
think they
whole
were gonna.
time- Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm just shocked they got Ty Robinson still. Like with all that finagling in there and all that movement stuff, they still got him. So I was a little worried, but
Is it weird that I'm like very excited about that pick? Like I think he's. I know we talked about him, but like there's something about him, dude. Like I think that dude's gonna be a monster inside. Like
hope.
Yeah, all these draft picks are a crapshoot, right? But if one of these top 4 picks work out, like you're fine, like you're good.
Actually, you know what happened? They went from 144 to 140, and then traded back from 140 to 145. So again, if you're sitting at 140 and you want
And
Shador,
they gained a pick.
well, like, of course they gained a pick if they moved back to five
And
picks.
they moved up spots in the other round.
I think they got that second pick in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Right. So, but if you moved back from
Fucking
140,
math.
140 to 145, right, and you wanted Shador, you were going to take him at 140. You're not going to like. It doesn't make sense that you're going to move back 5
That's
picks.
true. That's true too.
So anyway, so they ended up taking Mac Williams. He's a cornerback from UCF. Got a B grade. Stands at 5'10", 202 pounds, and he'll likely be stuck at the nickel corner.
He went
spot
to
in the NFL.
UCF, right?
UCF, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's okay for the Eagles with the proven players that they have outside. He'll be a solid depth at the very least as a rookie, and injury proof for the secondary, which I'm okay with.
All right.
I mean, he can't be worse than Avonte Maddox, right?
Well, I mean, they have Kylie Ringo, so he'll compete with Kylie Ringo
and Avonte Maddox is
for the slot.
right. Yeah. Okay. All
And then you got the 2 guys on the outside.
All right.
And then you also got the Makuba. Makuba could also play the slot as well if you needed him to. With Sidney Jones still as your safety. So they got a lot of options.
They have a lot of versatility.
Yeah.
You know, looking at McWilliams, he could actually probably could have been a running back. Jesus.
Fast.
Yeah. You know, like I said, he is he is a good tackler, but man, he's just got himself some really good metrics here. And I did not realize he was
I didn't read much up on him. I was more. I mainly had Ty Robinson's picture up, and I had my dick out, so I didn't really see much about the.
Makes sense. Yeah, that checks out.
With your cock out.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
So then, moving on a little bit.
Yeah.
Round 5, they went.
That's right. You know where that's from.
All right, hold on. I just you threw me off. You said Sidney Jones. You mean Sidney Brown? I'm like,
Sidney Brown.
I'm like, did they sign Sidney Jones? I'm like, oh my god. I was having PTSD. Like literally, I'm sorry.
He's back again.
Right, that's exactly what it was. I was like, oh my god, where did I miss that? I'm gonna fuck Howie up. We just did all this. We just did all this pleasure for Howie.
Yeah, no more Sidney.
My bad. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Like there's certain picks, and when they make them, you remember who you were. I remember where I was when they picked Sidney Jones and went, "Here's a torn ACL. What the fuck are they doing?"
We were sitting here doing the podcast.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, "Fuck."
We were at the draft. Me and Keith were at the draft.
Oh man.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was like this.
Dalvin fucking Cook.
Oh, I was so mad. I don't care what anyone says. Minnesota did that out of spite.
Dude, if you ever watched the videos, they were like cheering. Like, yeah.
That was the first time that they did that. The second time was Jefferson.
We got Marina Sands saying the two biggest holes the Eagles had at safety and linebacker, and Howie fills them both with immediate starters. McWilliams is a nice backup slot cornerback. Williams is a great project to replace Lane in 2 or 3 years.
Holes are filled.
True.
Well, they got a couple of of those.
They drafted quite a few.
They drafted 2 tackles.
All right, so run through, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is your Georgia guy. Your Georgia, another linebacker. B+ rating. Smell.
Munda? Is that the Mondon kid?
Mondon, yeah.
Yeah.
Eagles get another linebacker. Georgia, yeah. So Alabama and Georgia, because Alabama's their other school that they like to go to.
They have like
now it's 14.
14 Oh my!
What is it? 14 between Bama and Georgia? Nice.
Well, this kid is definitely a project. I think. I think he is one of those. They respect that he came from a very tight system, which means he can survive in the Eagle system, but he might not be the sharpest at position. So I think they are willing to coach him up, and I think that this is what this is. He's got all the talent, all the ability. They got to give him some brains.
Well, I mean, he might just be somebody that's a special teams guy to begin with.
Right.
Which he could be a stellar special teams guy, which is fine. So it says that he's an outstanding athlete, 6'2", 229 pounds. He's got great potential, but injury concerns likely caused him to fall further than anticipated.
Mm-hmm. What's his injuries?
It says injury concerns. It didn't say what his injuries were.
Ankle.
Yeah.
I hate that though. Like, you got hurt once 2 years ago.
2 games.
You're injury prone.
Two games 3 years ago,
and now you're hurt. Yeah, because you're playing a game that requires people to tackle each other, and
So we go through. Let's see. We got pick 1, defense. Pick 2, defense. Pick 3, defense. Pick 4, defense. Pick 5, defense. Then we turn our attention to the offensive side.
Boston College, right?
Boston College. That's Drew Kendall.
Yeah.
Got a B grade. Eagles' investments in the offensive line means they can make luxury picks late on round 5.
I gotta go water the trees, guys. Hold on a second.
Kendall is one of the best centers in the class, and is an athletic run blocker with 3 years of starting experience.
Yeah.
He's a valuable depth piece and injury insurance for the defending champions.
Like his father also played for Boston College and was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks.
So another Eagle.
Yep.
All right. Should I just move on?
Yeah.
For the next guy?
Yeah, you're nailing this. I don't care what anyone says. I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're the only one.
My reading skills. Yes. So
I feel like he needed it. He was close to the edge, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, just don't give me too much of a show. Round 6, we get into Kyle McCord. That's the Syracuse quarterback. So this is if they were after Sanders, this is who they went with afterwards. This got a B- grade. Philadelphia already has 3 quarterbacks on the roster, which is what I thought of as well. And McCord is unlike any of them. He led the country in passing yards in 2024 and operates as a point guard who distributes the ball accurately and on time to his receivers. Could be a good fit as a long-term backup behind Tanner McKee and Jalen Hurts. So, that's the thing about Shador. Would he have overtaken Tanner?
I don't know. Like the Eagles are very high on Tanner McKee.
Yeah, they're very high. And the one thing I did read about McCord is I think he had like 23 turnovers this year. Like that's a lot in college.
Jameis Winston.
Like you had 23 turnovers. Like
it's going to be a touchdown to somebody. You don't know which team.
Yeah, so that was like his one thing. But yeah, like he said, they are really high on Tanner McKee. Like they're really banking on him being a trade value for next year. I really think they're banking on him being a trade value for the 2025 season.
Which one, McKee or
McKee?
Tanner, yeah, for sure.
So you think that they're going to try and get like a 2nd or 3rd round pick for him
in the offseason? Yeah,
and then they're going to go with
unless he has a strong preseason and you have like a Teddy Bridgewater type injury.
Yep.
And Howie's like, give me a 3rd round pick for Tanner McKee and he's yours.
Do you think that Tanner McKee's ready to start?
No, absolutely not.
No.
But I think Howie can get someone to think that he is ready to start.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to say start for the Eagles, but I'm just saying start in general. You think he's a starting caliber quarterback?
You can get someone to buy into the fact that you are getting the backup from the Super Bowl team. He came into some position to some factor. They will use an equation and they'll be desperate enough to use him as, you say 3rd round, I say as a late one.
Yeah, like
someone. You think? Well,
Jesus Christ!
Someone's desperate enough if someone's desperate enough with a Teddy Bridgewater situation. Yeah,
I'll be like this to Howie Roseman if he trades Tanner McKee for a 1st round pick.
He's smoking his cup with retards.
Yeah.
I don't know about this comment right here about it's about Sanders being NFL rated. Like there was a reason he fell to the 5th round. If he was NFL ready, given the fact that his last name Sanders, he would have been taken earlier. He legitimately had the best player in college football with him.
He was 12 and 13. What are we talking about?
I don't know if he's going to be good. I don't know if he's NFL ready, and I could be 100% wrong. But there's a reason he fell to the 5th round. People looked at Cam Ward and looked at Shador Sanders, and they were like, "Now we're going with Cam Ward." You had Mike Kuiper going off telling everyone who's stupid that Blaine Gabbert was going to be better than Cam Newton. You just had these. There's a reason. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it was his last name Sanders. You just I just think of Mel Kiper's in it. Johnny Manziel should have been 1st overall.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson should switch to wide receiver. He's the one who started that shit.
Oh wow.
Blaine Gabbert would be better than Cam Newton, and like you said, Sean, earlier, that Jimmy Clausen would be a Hall of Fame football player.
Yeah.
What?
They said if Jimmy Clausen is not a Hall of Fame football player, I will quit my job.
Like the quarterback, Dart was picked over him.
This is
there was 5 guys picked over him.
Oregon quarterback. This is another look. I think he's better. So when I say this, I'm prefacing. I think he's better, but this is another national media LeBron story where the son of a star athlete
reminds me of it,
and he's boosted up because of his last name, and everyone wants him to be great and all this other stuff. There's a lot of players out there who have their father's name and end up having fantastic careers. It's obviously way too early to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. But last year he was taken early, and all this coverage. Now, granted,
he went 4th overall though,
and he did. But he went
to my alma mater, Marvin Harris Jr.
Did he? Yeah,
Roman Catholic. He's from Roman Catholic.
Oh, well, his dad did, right?
Right.
His
Yes.
dad did.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So
I'm a
you know,
Roman guy.
Are you? Yeah.
95.
Graduated in 90.
All right. Let's not start sucking each other's dicks. Just. But with all that,
$20 is $20 though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gay, but
yeah.
What did I see? It was I made $455.55.
Asshole ain't
Yeah,
something like that.
$45.05.
Yeah, and it's like, who gave you the 5 cents? He goes, they all did.
That's a lot of cocksucking.
Yeah, who gave you the nickel? All of them.
All
oh my god.
I mean, how many dicks did you suck for fucking $400?
Yeah, you know.
You know what? I was just thinking that. And you know I'm the math guy that's going to try and figure that out.
Keith, you're a teacher. Start mathing.
All right, well, I can figure this out. There's 20 nickels in a dollar.
God damn it,
right?
what are we
20
doing?
times 400 is what, 8,000? 8,001? Does that sound about right?
I don't know. Ask your dad. All right, so
Jesus Christ.
Fuck you.
$1.25, Willie? Isn't that the same price your mother charges for a blowjob, you piece of dog shit? Adam Sandler. That first album lives rent free in my head. I must have listened to that in high school so many times.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Ooh. You ran through them all, Mike?
No, we've got a couple. With the two linemen.
All right.
Miles Hinton, tackle from Michigan.
I
A-minus.
actually love that pick. He can play. He's played both the left and right.
Yes.
Tackle positions. He's a monster.
6'7", 325 pounds.
Yeah, dude. That's welcome to Stoutland University, dude.
Yeah.
Like
this is the next Milata project.
Yeah, and at least he's played football his whole life.
This needs development, and he's in the perfect place to do it.
Like, and you think about like why the Eagles are so successful, and like why I'm not worried about this year. They have really good coaches.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I always sit there and say like you know, like I coached flag football this year, and you know what? I was the head coach, and I had a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator, and I let them call their plays unless I saw something stupid. And that's what you need to do. Like, not you don't need to be the head coach and call every single play. That's why coaches are so successful. And I love that Nick Sirianni is that guy. He took a step back and was like, all right, you do this. I'm going to control the 53 players on the sideline, and that's that. And
I am a little bit concerned about the OC this year.
Yeah, we just because we don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's 100%. You know, it's the 9th straight year Jalen Hurts has a different offensive coordinator, which is another ridiculous stat.
Yeah.
Well, they hired the guy he knew, so like, you know, it's not they didn't
But
hire.
they did that 2 years ago too.
Yeah, and that didn't work.
Well, hopefully this guy learned a little bit from you know, just sitting where he's been sitting. You know.
Yeah, but that, like you said, that guy that you Tyler, the kid from Michigan, Michigan just produces good
Miles
players.
Hinton.
Oh, Hinton.
I think
That's
just
Miles
that
Hinton,
one.
right? The offensive tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
And then
the other offensive tackle, he's out of Texas.
Yep, he's the Cameron Williams. 16 picks later, got an A+ grade.
Yeah.
Philadelphia somehow does it again by getting a round 2 level prospect in the back half of round 6. Williams is very raw with just one season of starting experience, but has rare movement abilities and is 6'6", 317 pounds. He could become a long-term answer at tackle or guard given his athletic profile. And it's an embarrassment of riches for the defending Super Bowl champions.
Like he's raw, like the new guy in Anal Porn. He's raw.
This dude's a.
You talk a lot about anal porn for the one that was like, oh, I don't care who wins.
Yeah.
You're all about it now.
Yeah, you're
a monster.
Yeah, I just like again, and you think about the coaching. Like now, if these two guys pan out, like now we have
If one of them pans out, you just need one of them.
Like, and you're gonna be like, how do the Eagles keep getting away with it? Like Jesse said in Breaking Bad, he can't keep getting like how is gonna end up getting shot? like
yeah.
He really is. Like, I'd be mad as shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Well, I mean, he did get a beer can thrown at him.
That's true.
They tried.
I think that is proof.
We got audio. We got audio.
You fucking goddamn fucker.
I'm just trying to help you out.
There it is.
So, I'm certain at this point that Howie is part
Where's the
AI
horse?
android. Have you guys seen his forehead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing
He's
wrong.
got a picture of it right here. He had him sign it.
I had to sign a picture of him with the gash.
Right.
And I met him a couple weeks later, and it healed pretty nice.
Not pretty nice. It's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
Like 3 weeks later, it was pretty much like gone. You saw.
He's
it a
like the cyborg
little
from
bit.
Terminator.
Terminator,
no,
dude.
No, that dude
He's
is Wolverine. Just
Dude,
goes away.
there's something going on. He's got the Jeff Bezos, I'm getting blood from other people type thing. I don't, or he's a
He's
real
got
life.
Money for it though.
After that happened, when he's on, social media, I bleed for this team. He's got a big.
Well, the social media, he did it at the speech for the
parade.
parade. Yeah.
I bleed for this team.
Where's John Connor? Have you seen this boy? Yeah. So, dude, overall, I mean, let's just give our overall grades of the draft. I mean, knowing that we don't know anything about these players, let's just give our preemptive, premature ejaculation grade of the draft.
I'll say a solid B minus.
Look. The only thing I wish they would have done was, look, they'd end up drafting some linemen late, offensive linemen. I mean,
Right.
I would have liked to see another defensive interior lineman drafted. But of course, as I said, I'm happy with Ty Robinson. I'm glad they drafted a safety. I'm glad they drafted another linebacker who can actually play the edge too. Apparently, an athletic linebacker, because you don't know what you have in Dean, and to get someone else to challenge a spot next to Bond, that middle is going to be crazy. I'm going to give it a B.
And don't forget, you got Orion Burks too, right?
No, he's gone.
Oh,
he left.
Okay.
He gone. He gone.
That's what they need to replace. Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, I've got it at an A minus, and
okay.
The real reason is because there was they've got 3.5, I'll say, of those picks in there are value added picks, including their first round, which was just insane. So like that to me there was so many A pluses in there. I really would like to have seen a move for a tight end. It kind of leaves us a little in a predicament right there, but
I guess Goddard's staying, right?
It's got to be that, right? It's got to be Goddard. And I'm not saying I hate that. I don't. I'm worried that what are you doing long term? I need a guy who's in there that's going to be learning the system, and I definitely need a guy who can be block heavy. And I don't know if Goddard's happy doing that. So that really was the only like negative for me, is I didn't see a tight end that was going to be someone who could really back up Saquon and let him do his explosive stuff.
Yeah, my hope was to see Mason Tower.
Yeah,
I thought Mason Tower would have been. Yeah, he was late. He lasted a while.
Late. Yeah, he went late. We could have
Mason-
stolen him.
Mason Taylor went 42.
We got Ron the Dawn saying, I'm hoping to just say, I'm hopping in just to say I'm a Birds fan and a Huskers fan. I could not be happier for Ty Robinson. That's cool. And Miranda said, Dean is done, will not get extended since he cannot stay healthy because he's too small.
I don't even see. I don't think he sees the field this year.
There's talk about
when
him.
When he played,
he was pretty good.
Fucking good last
That's
year.
a devastating injury, Sean.
Yeah, when he played,
That's
he
a
was
tough
good.
fucking injury.
It's when he played, he can't stay healthy, and that was the problem when he fell in the draft because he couldn't stay healthy. So
Yeah, but that was a shoulder injury. He had a patella injury. Like it wasn't like.
You guys really think he's done?
No,
I don't think he's done. I
don't think he's done. He's done here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No.
You got to remember, he's a third-round pick. It's not going to cost you a lot of money to keep him.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Eagles, listen. Anytime you can get Rich Eisen to say, "I can't believe they did it again. How does this keep happening?" It's got to be an A draft, not A plus, not A minus. It's got to be an A draft.
Yeah.
You know, when you got the guys who've been around football for 20, 30 years since we were kids, and they're like, "How does this keep happening for the fourth year in a row?" Like again, like you said, he's an android. Like someone's going to try and shoot him. Like
When every GM is like,
Fuck you. What the Fuck! Who the fuck this fucking? How did you do fucking fucks? Fuck!
So, Sean, what was your grade?
Nice. I wanted to get that and download it. I was like, nah, that's all right. I'll do it.
What was your grade?
I said a B.
A B, okay.
I said a B.
So,
for bitch, you believe me? No, I said B.
so I'll tell you what. I was going to go B minus, but
I mean,
I'm going to curve the grade to a B because Howie's
look at the teacher now.
That incredible. So
Yeah.
if it were anybody else, or if he didn't get the benefit of the doubt, I would have said a B minus.
Yeah.
I didn't like the trading back. Somebody like
that pissed you off.
Oh, you
No.
were mad as shit.
Well, I mean, it didn't make sense. Like they have so many picks, and it just didn't like. Are they going to be able to keep both tackles and the center? Are they going to be able to sign all three of those guys?
Dude, don't we ask these questions every year?
Yeah, but there's not 10. There's
No,
usually
but
6 or 7.
but here's the thing. Like the last, I don't know, since they won the Super Bowl, right? It's been every year going, shit, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? And they've been competitive, if not Super Bowl contending, every single year since then.
Well, they're one of the top 5 organizations in the league. Yes, I get
in
it.
the last 25 years, they're top 3 as far as winning percentage. Like they
Right.
constantly win, and Howie is an absolute genius. So when I met him, right, it was they didn't sign Ballin yet, and I said your number one priority's got to be Zach Ballin, right? And he just looks at me and smiles, right? And he goes, "We'll see." I said, "You gotta get that done," and he said, "We'll see." And I gave him my book, and then he sucked my dick, and then that was that.
I'm pretty sure that
There it is.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know you could read.
Yeah.
It's
No
not-
one likes to suck
it's
you
just for
they
show.
swear.
It doesn't have any pictures.
Where did you
Oh.
come on this woman?
Rip it up.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
and-
hopefully
and-
next time I'll be able to. We'll meet up with each other and I'll sign it for you.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing, like the draft, and you just look at like the need.
It's going to leave a knot on page 1.
You notice that he just went right into it. He didn't even say thanks or that sounds great. He just went right into his point.
He was already
He's
talking.
No, because he's just totally ignoring you because he wants nothing to do with it. And he's trying to be polite.
Oh no, I'll take the nut. I mean the signature.
Sorry, Chris, you were making probably a valid point. I'm sorry.
No, and I just look at like how Howie filled his needs, and then you look at like a team like Detroit who got killed by injury this year on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
And you only drafted 3 defensive players. There's nothing wrong with your offense.
Now, granted, the lineman, right? They drafted a lineman in first pick. So Detroit kind of let me down. I thought they would have done a lot more on defense.
That's good.
The team, no, but
For the Eagles, it's good.
team I
because-
thought
Great.
the team I thought did really well, and I don't know. I haven't watched much coverage of it since Atlanta. I thought Atlanta did
Atlanta killed the first round.
I thought Atlanta did a fantastic job. Their defense was one of the worst in the league. They've been among the worst in sacks in the last 3 years, and they got 2 linemen and they got a linebacker, I think, later. And yeah, I think they revamped themselves a little bit.
And in that South division, that's all you need.
Yeah, because the Saints. What the fuck were the Saints doing? Dude, like I don't know. So we have a buddy who's a Saints fan, and he's like, I might give up. I might join the Eagles. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll welcome you with open arms. Like, I would love to have you as an Eagles fan because you're a great dude, and the Saints fucking blow. Like, come on.
They're in cap peril, dude.
Yeah, but they've been in cap peril for how long does it take to dig out of Drew Brees' contract?
When we did our draft show this past week, we had a Falcons fan on, and then he rolled, and then he
Really? He's like, fuck this.
No, he came back on after the first pick, and then he's like, it was like 3.5 hours, and he's like, all right, guys, I'll see you. And then the Saints traded up, or the Falcons traded up, and he hopped back on. He's like, yeah, we got Pierce. Yeah, we're gonna be. I'm like, oh shit, damn. He was like, these idiots are gonna draft Shadur Sanders when we have Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins. I know it. He's like, there's the worst thing that's gonna happen to the Falcons. He's like, we're gonna draft Shadur Sanders. He's like, this is an Atlanta thing to do. But yeah, like Atlanta did good, and I think Chicago did good, and I think the Giants did good. Like I think those are the three teams.
Yeah, Giants definitely. Now,
I thought Dallas did pretty well.
We didn't talk about it. So Dallas
After the first pick is when they picked it up.
So Chris, what is it about the first pick that you don't like? Because I also am not a fan of that pick.
I just you know, we like I said, we had Terrence Parsons on, who is Micah's brother, and he's like, Dallas has to go playmaker. We've gone too many years without a second wide receiver.
Yep.
And he's like, they're drafting. He's watching the draft unfold with us, and he's like, they're drafting all these linemen. We're going to get a receiver. We're going to get a Golden. We're going to get somebody, and they get Booker, and he's like,
what the fuck?
It's funny because I thought that like before that, again, it's Dallas not being able to get out of their own way because before that, all they did was draft the playmakers. Zeke, Lamb, like they continually kind of like it was like, well, I mean, Dak was a 4th round pick, but they continually drafted playmakers instead of building for the like they drafted linemen 5 years straight, and that's what built them up to be good. And then they completely ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Ignored it for years until the guys retired and it was too late to address.
Yeah.
So it's
I feel that pick was like, to me, like, I don't know. I'm not a GM of the NFL, by any means, all that stuff. And granted, yes, like maybe when you get later in the first round, you start looking at things going, okay, we don't need a safety. So even though he's the best player available, we're not going to take him. But when you're drafting that early in the draft, you take best player available, right? That's unless you have if it's a quarterback, you're not going to take a quarterback if you have, Patrick Mahomes, right? The obvious things. Was that really your top need? So like you said, Golden was there. Golden to me was an absolute priority for that team to put next to CeeDee Lamb. That would have been danger. Like, dude, I'd be like, like we kind of have a problem here.
Here's the problem that I'm having with Tyler Booker. You got Tyler Booker for a running back that doesn't exist yet.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? What purpose does he serve? Like, I don't get it.
Because what's his face retired? Zach Martin, right? He retired.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they're freaking out, and they drafted out of panic. That's what that move was.
Maybe I don't understand football then, right? Like maybe I shouldn't be on this podcast because like the way I see like Tyler Booker, like you get him like honestly for a Saquon or you know what I mean, for someone that you're trying to protect that you don't have a blocking tight end. You don't have there's this guy who's just, he's here to look. I do understand. I just don't understand it for Dallas. Mm-hmm. Their number one need would have been either some sort of I want to say a third slot receiver, but they need a two.
They need a running back. They need a receiver. They
eventually got a running back.
They did. They took two of them.
They drafted one early and they drafted another one in the 6th round.
Yeah.
You know what?
But like
a Clemson kid.
Yeah, but like I said, you like this person just said, Marina, like he's a slow-footed guard. All right, cool. Do you know what Jalen Carter is going to do to him? I understand the player he wants to play is Jalen Carter. That is not something you need to say out loud. I don't care who you are, because Jalen Carter, like this guy's got 7 pounds. Like he's 6'5" and 321 pounds. Jalen Carter's 6'3" and 314 pounds.
He just swings around the outside like a boomerang. There's no way he's catching him.
Right. He's gonna throw you. He's like, there's that meme where it always goes around like where you beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Yeah, that's what Jalen Carter's gonna do. I'm sorry.
I mean, all the grades on Booker were low. I mean, they were like, like low, like slow. What am I?
I don't even think he was best in position at guard. Was he?
No. And that's I don't know.
And you're drafting a guard instead of a tackle.
It's easy to hate on the Cowboys, right? Because they're the Cowboys, and we hate the fucking Cowboys.
Where's Rob? Rob was chiming in earlier.
No, Rob did chime in earlier. Rob's a Cowboys fan. Al, who's a Cowboys fan, wanted Golden. He was pissed, and he's like, "Fuck this draft," and gave up. So
sounds like Terrence.
Yeah, so he was at. Yeah, it was funny because you said, because I know that his brother was doing his thing, and he was pissed at the same thing. He's like, "What are we doing?"
He played it a little cooler because he was on national TV,
and he
But he definitely was like,
he played it off like, I wish it would have been on my side of the ball, like why he was like a little
Look at
disgusted.
his mouth's all.
Remember when the Eagles last year, or 2 years ago, when they took
That was
last year when they took
It was Carter. Yeah.
and Smith and
I thought he was gonna cry.
Dude, he was so mad. How do they keep doing this?
Yeah, last year, how do they keep doing this when they ended up getting
dude. So they
Quignon.
Cooper DeJean.
Marina says here, that's actually who I thought the Eagles were going to get at 32. It was that edge rusher out of
Yeah, he
Boston
ended up
College.
going. He ended up going 44.
Yeah, but the Eagles made up better. Taking Campbell, I mean Campbell's the better player.
I think I think Donovan, he's a little on he's a little on the smaller side. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be an edge. I agree.
I mean, Campbell was projected to be in the top 15.
If it wasn't for the injury.
Yeah, Will Johnson, I think, is the wasn't that who
Will
Dallas
Johnson, who went third.
Bill.
No, Will Johnson was the Michigan cornerback.
Yeah, he went late. He was projected to go higher though, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was like 16. Wasn't that? I think that was Dallas' second pick, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
First. Their first pick, they took
Booker.
Yeah. No, Will Johnson in the second round is, I think, who Dallas ended up getting.
No, he went to Arizona.
Yeah. Donovan is the other one is Will Johnson went second round to Arizona. They took
Arizona.
Walter Nolan in the first.
Okay.
Then Jordan
What the fuck?
Birch.
You're supposed to be our facts guy.
Jordan Birch.
Get that wrong.
And that's another thing.
okay.
Like
Arizona did tremendous, but also didn't pick up another
I'm
wide
a
receiver.
professional guy. I can't fool
like,
me.
why wouldn't Will Johnson? Like, why wouldn't Dallas pick Will Johnson? Deron Bland's always hurt. Trayvon Diggs is always hurt. Like,
Good call on
I'm
Trayvon
thankful
Diggs.
Dallas is still Dallas.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean,
Look,
they picked up their draft as it went on, but you wasted your first round pick on a guard who isn't Lane Johnson.
Still a quarterback.
and I know we're not used to this, and this is
Crack
weird.
wet spot.
I know we're not used to this, but I look behind Mike. Oh, you can't see on the camera there. But behind Mike, there's a banner that says Super Bowl 59 champions.
EAGLES Eagles.
Like, we're not used to teams chasing us,
Yeah.
right? And that's the thing we got to remember. Like, we're the front runners. We're the front runners. Teams want to be us. Teams want to be like Howie Roseman. Teams want to have a trench, building the trenches like the Eagles already have. They already have, and now they've added more to that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh, I love that. They've added more to that.
I gotta get one of them.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I'll tell you who had a phenomenal draft. Green Bay.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that got Golden.
Well, they took Golden, which, by the way, is the first receiver to take him since like fucking forever.
Javon
In the
Walker.
first round.
And
Walker was the last one.
Javon Walker in 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a shock. I think the Patriots did pretty damn good.
I think the Patriots did well.
They did.
Other
Well,
than
actually,
their first round
they
pick.
hated. Yeah, they hated. Everyone hated the first round pick.
I didn't hate it.
I thought it was all right.
Really?
What about that defensive guy that Baltimore grabbed?
Oh,
Yeah,
Baltimore was good anyway.
That's just not fair because I would have loved the Eagles to get him, but Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, they didn't really.
He's fired up.
So would you?
Mike
would you
Green, right? That kid. Oh,
And he went in the second round.
Yeah, he went
What, Mike Green went-
59. He was He was 3 picks from the Eagles.
He went to the Patriots?
No.
Baltimore.
He
Oh, he went to Baltimore?
Baltimore
See,
went
but
all
that's
balls
what I'm
out on
talking about.
defense.
After Baltimore
wow.
picked him, I went back and I'm looking at the highlights and what he did at he just fucking blasted.
Oh, I didn't know he went
just
to
blast through people.
See, but that's where I'm talking about, where they had all these 5th round picks. That's where you could have jumped up in the second round, grabbed Mike Green, and still ended up with Xavier Watts. I mean woulda, coulda, shoulda. But like, that's the B-. That's
You know
all
what?
I'm talking about.
Fuck this draft grade. I'm giving it an F now.
You needed that. I don't know what else we're going to talk about now.
Yeah, Mike. Like like Mike Green. He's got two rape allegations against.
Does
him.
he?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, Howie Rose.
Allegedly.
I'm not.
Howie Roseman. Dom's like, nah, we're not getting him.
Yeah,
I don't
because Dom has to say.
He probably does.
Yeah, I'm not drafting players.
He probably
that
does.
If there's if you got a problem against women, I'm not drafting you.
Yeah. All right, so I know we covered a lot of the draft tonight. Do we want to do Phillies? Because we're at the 2-hour mark. I don't want to keep you guys too long.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you speaking for them? Are you their fucking mom or their wife? Or
Sure. Stay
real quick. 10 minutes. 10 minutes on the Phils, real quick.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
And we'll do While You Were Drunk and call it a show. All right.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's upstairs watching One Tree Hill. My daughter's on her phone. The other daughter's sleeping, and my son's at a frat party, probably.
Yeah. All right.
No, there you go.
And I don't know where my family is. It doesn't matter.
We barely know where your face is. Your camera's so high.
I don't know why. My chair went down a little bit, and I was like, oh, fuck it. It's a new look.
Lucky
But now
chair.
I got to sit up.
He's
So,
like,
so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So what about these Phillies? Are you guys panicked?
I am. Because I was before the season started.
I mean, I was after London.
Just, like enough's enough.
After
London? Yeah.
You know what, dude?
London was it.
Dude, London was a backbreaker.
London was great, but everything after.
London's calling.
What?
Well, they're 500 since London, or maybe they're hovering right about it. They started off last year at a 770. I think they may have peaked at a 770 in the very beginning of the season. And we said, well, look, statistics are statistics. Over 162, you're never going to stay at 800 baseball.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But there's problems. And what are your problems?
The bullpen. It's a disaster.
I'm with you in the bullpen. But they also.
I have a big concern.
I have a bigger one too.
Their 5-game losing streak. They're batting like 230. I'm gonna show them how you're doing it on camera.
Let me see. Let's hit. Yeah. Where's the lime? Where's that lime?
We didn't get any. She's like, "Can I open this?" I'm like, "Sure, whatever."
It's all my foot.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
That's a well-trained.
Yes. So
That's a well-trained minion right there.
So how old is your daughter? Or
10.
what grade she in?
Oh, she's 10. Okay. All right. Cool.
So what she goes 5th grade? She's Cornwells?
What's that?
She at Cornwells Elementary?
No, she goes to Our Lady of Calvary.
Oh,
she
she goes to Calvary.
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, my kids are Catholic school.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah, know that.
I thought you said that you were in. I didn't know you. You're in Northeast Philly, not Ben Salem. Okay.
No, yeah, I'm in Parkwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good old Parkwood.
Yeah.
I know Calvary well. I grew up right down the street.
Yeah, we could walk to Calvary.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Phillies batted 230 during their losing streak, and I think they struck. I pulled up the stats. I think it was like 48 times.
I think my first priest at Calvary.
They're at. Did it hurt?
He's in the middle of it, like he's trying to make a point. Joel does it, and now he's going to stop me. Where do I go from here?
And boom goes the dynamite.
Sorry,
and then both soundboards are going at the same time.
I know.
I know Chris is a midpoint.
We actually have audio from that.
I'm right up the street with St. Chris.
We sure do.
Boy. Yeah. Hi, Jay Parr.
No.
Jay, we probably know each other. I don't know.
Actually, you might. So I could tell you right now, he lives on Rambler.
Not
Rambler. Raymer.
No, it's Rambler. It's Rambler Drive.
Rambler, yeah.
Is that a Roadstar or a V-Star? His motorcycle?
Sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. That was an inappropriate joke. You guys are trying to be
it's
serious.
fine. It's fine. I live on Covert Road if the priests are looking for me.
I know what Covert is. Yeah.
Kovler and Waldemir. But yeah, then it's 47 strikeouts in his 5-game losing streak. Card is not happy with you.
You're a fucking asshole.
Well, now it's not a 5-game losing streak. They won today, so we're righting the ship.
I think they scored
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
Great movie. Great movie.
Great movie. So that's where I'm at, and that's my final say. You guys can continue.
No, damn it, now I feel bad.
No, don't. Listen, I get it from Keith. I'm okay with it.
No, where Chris was though, with that's my biggest concern is. Look, the bullpen. Actually, the bullpen is if you're talking 1A, 1B. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's 1A is going into the season. This team is the same lineup as it was. They didn't do anything in the lineup. They didn't trade Bohm. They didn't trade any of these guys. Turner, you're hoping that Remolto all of a sudden finds the fountain of youth. Stop. You're hoping that
how's that
Turner.
gonna happen?
You're hoping that Turner can turn it around for the first time in 3 years since he's been a Philly. You're hoping that Harper can continue. Schwarber, these guys, and look, Harper and Schwarber are doing okay. You're hoping that Rojas figures it out or Marsh can turn it on. Like, there's a lot of hope there. Hoping that Stott cannot be a liability at the plate. Now, Stott has been okay this year.
This team is the same team as when Dombrowski fucking managed the Tigers. It's the same bullshit.
Well, when he was GM, yeah. But when this team faces good pitching, they don't know how to play. They don't know how to lay off the crap. They swing at everything.
Yes.
They're the most non-clutch team. Like, look, I say that, and at the same time, like Harper had one of the great Stott too, big moments in the playoffs, right? But when the moment's like really on, man, these guys don't turn up, and like
they've regressed. They were clutch when they didn't know any
since
better.
22.
They've regressed.
Since 22, they've regressed. And but the other thing is, if you look at every side, and I'm done after this. If you look at every bullpen acquisition that Dombrowski has made since he's become GM of the Phillies, just look down the list. They all below. Every single one of them has an ERA over 4 or 5. Like, it's been horrendous. I'll look it up as you guys, want to talk.
I remember seeing the stat, but
as I bring up my phone and this comes up,
I listen. I'd rather have Ray. I'd rather have Ray Romano pitch than Jordan Romano.
Yes.
Yes. It can't get much worse, Chris. So, Keith, what's your thoughts?
So look, we're all going to agree on the same thing of what we're watching. We're watching subpar baseball. We're watching like a lot of notes not get hit when you have okay pitching. You're not getting any hitting when you're getting right. So it's baseball needs to work like an equation, and all the numbers need to be right in certain variables. If this number is up and this number needs to be down in order for the win to come out, right? I'm not saying it's an exact science. I'm just saying we've all watched games. We know how they play out. The one ingredient, I think, and I tend to be like a solutions dude and not like a complainer, because, I mean, what am I going to do? It's 162 games. I'm gonna give myself I get very passionate about it. I do. I might sound like I'm not talking about it, like I get passionate about it.
You get as passionate about it as drunk Phillies fans do with every pitch. they get pretty fucking passionate.
So like Fuzz will tell you, like, hey, Chris, like, you tell them I don't talk to people. Like, I do not want to be. I'm trying to be as dialed in as the pitcher. And so because of all that, the thing that I am missing, that I feel like I'm missing, which means if I can outwardly see it and the guys can, that's fire, right? That's passion. That is some sort of like, whatever it is. I don't care if there's like, you're missing a jokester. I don't care if you're missing someone who's stern. I don't know what that vibe is. There's something called glue, right? I think about like your workplace where you work at. There's someone who's probably just okay at their job, but they're really good at being a people person, and they're good at being glue, and they hold together like the whole operation, whether it's through positivity, whatever it is. I don't care. They are missing that type of glue. Is it Larry Boa? I don't know. Is it Stubbsy? I don't know. Whatever it may be, there is some sort of glue that is missing, because you definitely have all of the structural parts to make a damn good baseball team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to actually, I want to dissect that a bit. I think that's a good point. And Sean, you've brought up before how
my hand wasn't
much
up,
you
teacher. My hand wasn't up.
You brought up before how Stubbs
Oh,
is a jackass. This and
yeah,
that.
I think he's a jackass.
You brought up how the daycare
Needs to grow up.
Needs to grow up. This and that. I don't think that matters. And to what Keith's point was, maybe they're not having fun anymore. Maybe we're no longer the daycare. We're all business now. Maybe it's to the point now where they're not having fun.
Jay said your mic's the glue for the podcast.
So if is it that they're missing the passion? Is it that it's become stagnant?
God damn it. God damn it, that song.
Oh, Jesus.
So
bring it back. They were winning, and we were
That's
having
true.
fun as fans.
That's true. Yes. And that's the biggest. And I do feel
I think they feel the pressure.
Watching,
feel the pressure. You've got to come inside.
which is funny
that
because
guy, and
Cassie said the
guy's gonna
exact
reach, he's gonna
opposite.
go
He
through
said,
your
"Oh, well,
body."
we don't have any pressure now. You guys think we're going to suck? We don't have any
Dude,
pressure."
so before spring training, Castellanos. Like, if Castellanos isn't like the fucking Joe Bernthal of fucking the Phillies, like the guy you see on screen, you're like, oh, I feel uneasy about this guy, but I root for him, but I kind of feel dirty rooting for him, and
Because he does seem like
he's such a douche,
like a jerk
right?
off.
Yeah, and like
the Jason Worth of this.
Yeah, he literally is. Like I don't know how
This
you
is
guys
Keith
feel.
Sky, man. You're talking
Love him.
about.
All right, but there's something about like when he came out, it's like, oh, there's no pressure on us. I mean, there's no pressure on us, blah blah blah. And he's going on about the media. Oh, and if we suck, you guys love it, and we do well, you guys love it. And like, I get it, but like, we don't want to fucking hear that. No one likes us, but we do care. We do care. Callie said, "I can't get myself to like him. I can't. I never could. It's not that I don't like him. I like him. Like I do like him. But god damn it, like
stop swinging that balls in the dirt."
Well, he's done a better job. He's done a better job this year with that. But like, it's not even that. It's the nonchalant, like I don't know.
It's
man.
that jerk off house he lives
I don't
in.
know, man.
It's that Ben Simmons.
the Ben Simmons house. I don't know. It's
something about it.
It's a lot, and it's funny. You bring up Dave Dombrowski, and like he's been successful, but he hasn't been successful in a while. And the teams he had, like he brought up a stat the other day or a couple weeks ago, and he was like his pitching staff in the 2013 ALCS held Boston to a 214 batting average in 6 games. What he left out is that they scored 12 runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Oh my god.
Yep. When you don't have clutch players, you can bat 214. You can hold a team all you want, but if you don't have that clutch gene that the Red Sox had in 2013, you're not going to win. Like scoring 12 runs in 3 innings, and it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's ridiculous. Like you're not going to lose. You're not.
Yeah, but that's what helped the Phillies in the beginning of this season. They were clutching at the beginning of the season.
But they're playing against shit teams.
Well, be that as it may.
That's the other thing. Like they got off those great start, but look who they played the
They played
first
shit teams,
9
yeah.
teams.
But
9 games.
another thing that irritates me is watching Kyle Tucker bat for the Cubs today. Like,
I want dude, you're speaking my language.
Trade Crawford. That's why you have your farm system to make your team better. You trade Crawford. You trade Bohm. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. You trade Painter. If that's what it takes, to do that to get a Kyle Tucker. That's what you have to do. That's why
I don't
your
know if I
farm.
would have traded Painter for Tucker, but I would have definitely looked at someone like Crawford because you're looking at the situation going, okay, we have 2 young center fielders who we have under control until 2027. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, hold on. I'll trade both of my kids for fucking Jazz Chisholm right now. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Like, there were definitely players out there last year that Dave just completely passed over. He got us an Austin Hayes and said, "You'll like this." I am getting sick of the rollout right now.
Austin Hayes had a lacerated kidney, which you can't control. He was doing really good. I'm not gonna knock the Austin Hayes pick, but you're right. He should have went after Jazz Chisholm.
Right? Like, what are we talking about? Jazz Chisholm was out there.
They probably didn't even kick the tires. I guarantee you they didn't even kick the tires on him.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that shit. Please don't say shit like that.
You're gonna make Keith drink a lot of vodka tonight.
What, the kick the tires thing or the
like the fact that you didn't even do
my wife says the same thing.
I haven't seen.
I want to be that guy's best friend,
but
Jazz Chisholm. I think he's like exactly what this team needs, energy wise, player wise. He is
attitude wise, locker room wise, like all that. Dude. And then you're watching what
who's Sean Patrick Callahan?
He's my. Sorry, I gotta hit. All right, I gotta give him a shout out. So, Callie is the first organic listener we met in public of our podcast like 10 years ago. So his daughter was in a cheerleading competition, national cheerleading competition. 3rd place finish, 3rd best on the East Coast is in Two Straps.
That's awesome,
dude. I'm sorry to hear that. That he
who should cheer for?
Yeah, I don't.
Let us know. My daughter. Yeah. I only ask because my daughters used to cheer. They were Ramblers.
Okay.
Penn Salem Ramblers, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in Shanksville.
You didn't play Calvary's CYA or what was Calvary's youth organization?
CY, yeah.
CYA.
Calvary AA.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That player is just Austin Hayes, just much hotter.
That's what my wife says. She's like, we got a really hot lineup. I'm like, I'd rather have a good hitting lineup than a hot lineup.
Yeah.
Said they're called the Heat.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure my wife knows them.
Okay.
I don't.
Dude, sorry, Callie. I'm sorry that she didn't.
Yeah, that sucks.
You know what they say: if you're not first, you're last. All right, just tell her that tonight. She'll sleep well.
But hey, third place in the East Coast can't be that.
Whoa.
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
What the fuck?
Are you just?
It's such a good movie, man.
I'm just like,
so great.
I'm waiting for like a John Cena. I'm waiting for a John Cena quote or
I gotta watch it again, man.
I
love that movie.
So,
dude, when fucking when he gets his head blown off by the mine at the beginning, you're like, what the
the special effects.
It's holding on a stick. I thought he's gonna be in the movie for a while. I'm like, oh no, he's dead. It's like the other guys. Spoiler alert. At the beginning, fucking The Rock and fucking
head for the bushes.
The bushes.
Out the window and head for the bushes. Fucking dead.
So that's the dry humor stuff that I like about movies that I love. That it's also like it's a lot of it is in Step Brothers, Other Guys. Even like the dumb stuff, like Michael Keaton doing all of the boss references, right?
Go to chase the waterfall.
Right. And those are the things that get quoted the most between all of our friends and stuff like that. But I don't know if they thought, I think they were, a lot of that stuff becomes throwaways that you're like, holy shit, this is good.
Dude, Step Brothers. Dude, I tell Mike all the time, one of the best lines, Dumb and Dumber, is a throwaway line that no one thinks about. And it's when he's like, he's freezing, right? And he's like, oh, you wanted a second pair of gloves, right? Here's my you had a second pair of gloves this whole time. And when he's choking him, he goes, your hands are freezing. Dude, that line right? So it's such a throwaway line, and you don't think about dude, Step Brothers. I quote Step Brothers all the time. That movie's 20 years fucking old now.
Adam Scott looked young in that.
Dumber, when I think you can't do anything dumber, you don't do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
Like all that stuff is so. But Step Brothers, dude, I there's a guy at work at my job. We've bonded over Step Brothers. We just run by like, you have a voice like Fergie and Jesus, and he's like, yeah, and he walks by and he laughs, Yeah, there's no room for activities in here.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
You both. That's the first one that I think you both have on the soundboard.
We both have it.
Yeah.
We both have it.
You know what I quote under my breath at work with my coworkers?
Office Space.
Blazing Saddles.
What was it?
Blazing Saddles.
Where the white women at? Is that what you say?
Yeah, I my wife watched that for the first time like a year ago on the unedited version, and her face was.
She's like, you're like, it was a different time.
She was like, they can say that. I'm like, no,
not anymore. Somebody better get a shitload of nickels.
Catherine Hahn is so hot in that movie.
Yes.
Like she is like I know she plays such a piece of shit in it, right? Obviously, just trying to get into Dale's pants, right, the whole time.
Yeah.
But her and and they all play it. I feel like they're all trying to outdo each other, but then like they all pull it back in such a way, and then it gets crazy. And then everyone at the end, the Catalina wine mixer. We're talking about an ending that should make zero sense in all of cinema. And then the dad at the end becomes a hero.
Dude.
He wears the fuck out of that hat.
Fucking dinosaur and get a job.
Like, dude, he was fucking that, and she sees me my fro down on my ball fro and about shut the fuck up, right? Like all those little things.
What are you doing? Burying you.
I don't give a fuck.
I
don't give a fuck.
Right?
So
So, like,
funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
Dude, I quoted that. We were having dinner with my in-laws, and someone asked for some sauce, and I started putting my hand out, and no one knew what I was doing. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, you can't have it. And they're like, why are you doing that to your daughter? I'm like, stepbrothers. And everyone's like, what?
Oh, that's
like, God damn it. No one got the fucking reference. Dude, the subtleness of that subtlety of that scene when he's putting his hand under the fucking spoon. He won't let her have it. Or won't let her have it. No, that's my mom's special sauce. Can't have it. Dude,
I'm about to play Moby Dick for real.
I know you're lying. Cops is on at 5.
Is that a real sword? He goes, what? You see that smudge on it? He goes, yeah. He goes, what's that say? He goes, I can't tell. He goes, that's Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson's autograph. Randy Jackson.
Why'd you have him sign a sword?
Dude, the best is when they're doing the fucking the bunk beds, and they're in the other room, and he goes, are there power tools there? No, just my toothbrush. That's so great.
It's okay, mine's not movie quality.
The last singer, right at the end of the movie, just boom, hit that on it. All right, we end our show every week with While You Were Drunk. It's things you may have missed.
Before we get to While You Were Drunk, I just have an open question.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is
All
probably going to open up a can of worms. I'm not even going to ask, do you? I'm going to ask, at what point do you consider firing Topper this year?
It's got to be a couple. It's got to be like 10 games under 500.
10 games under 500. If they reach 10 games under 500 at any point, you fire them.
That's actually a pretty good number, I think.
Yeah.
With how many left to go?
No, if
at any point.
At any point, like even like I don't know how good they're gonna be, to be honest with you. Like I was very highly confident on them. You know, we when we did the Hall of Fame Club podcast, you know, Keith had them pegged for 102 wins. Our other co-host had Aaron Noel pegged for 17 wins.
Oof.
And I had Alec Boone pegged for 30 home runs and over 120 RBIs.
That is correct.
Ain't none of that shit happening.
So Ryan, who couldn't join the show tonight, unfortunately, he has some issues going on. He and I both said, like, reluctantly, like very reluctantly, 89-90, they might make the playoffs, but they're going to disappoint and this and that kind of thing. Steve Jelt, that was at our 10th anniversary show, and Steve Jelt turns and goes, because he can't fucking hit. And I'm like, well, that's fucking weird for you to say.
No, he did not say can't fucking hit because he does not curse.
No, he does not. But he did turn and goes, no, because they don't play small ball. Ironically, tonight the 10 runs they score, 8 of them are small ball runs. But anyway, but he's right.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once.
But
in a
he
while.
was right. Like they don't. It's home run or bust with this team. They're inconsistent. They didn't change the core. Callie said 92. So even that with this payroll, you should win 90 games. They might not.
Keith,
they're not.
Thoughts?
They might not.
Topper, you firing them at any point this year?
They're not making the playoffs.
So the order that this will go will clearly be, because they are still a playoff contention team for the last 2 years. You go bench coach first. That's the order it goes. It's not like Girardi where the team unilaterally hated him and there was an issue. So no, I don't think there's a number unless it's really. I would even go probably 15 plus sub 500, but that's
Okay.
even. They probably wait till the end of the season on that one anyway.
10, dude. If we go 10 or 15 below 500,
It's going to be a fucking long summer.
It's DEFCON 5, dude. Like, yeah.
My suggestion was getting someone like Larry Boa, right? Moving him up as the bench coach, letting him get out there and do
this being drank.
Hold on for a second. Hold that. We got to.
There we go.
There it is. Look at him. Such a proud father.
Yeah, look at that.
With the stick it poster in the background, by the way.
Yes, I see
Love
that.
it. Love it. That's good shit. Oh, I just muted him by accident. I had to unmute him for a second, and then
No, you don't. That was the best part about it.
Why is there a sticker poster in the back?
He explained it.
So we
See what had happened was
so we did a movie draft and on the Northeast Philly podcast, sports movie draft. And Stick It was one of my movie picks. I love the movie. Don't ask why. Keith loves it too.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
So
I saw another one. Stick It here.
Yeah. One of our listeners who I actually work with, he bought a bunch of posters off of eBay like a year ago from a closed video store. I think he said they were like 50 for like $3, and he had it, and he gave it to me this week, and I literally put it up before the show started today.
Oh, that's
fantastic.
And then underneath it is the McNabb on the other side, McFarland, with T.O. on the other side catching it.
That's awesome.
At the bottom.
Keith, I know I mentioned this on when I was on with you guys. You are fucking like Tom Segura's doppelganger. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And dude, that's a compliment. That's a compliment, dude. Tom Segura's a good-looking dude. He's a funny dude. Like, yeah, take it as a compliment.
I hear you. It's so funny. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. I want to do stand up. I want to try it, but I don't have any. I have material, but it's not like it's not refined. It's not a set. It's not anything. But I've always wanted to do it. And then someone one day was like, "Yo, you look like Tom Segura," and must have been about 10 years ago. And I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it every day. Like I have sets I do every single day. All from first period to last period. Like I try new material on the kids all the time. They laugh, and it's good enough for me. I get the laughs that way. So I don't need to go up on the stage and sell out a
what grade?
High school. I have high school.
Yeah,
in Philly. Yeah,
and we are
too old.
And we are generally mean to each other in our group chats.
Oh, hold on.
He said, "Yeah, with the too old." Yeah, like he's like, "You're an
What's that
asshole. I
in the-
can't comment on this."
Fucking
Like,
head
yeah.
down.
But Sean, what's it going to take for you to fire Topper?
No, I 10 games under 500 does
10?
it for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Look. I said to Gary before the show, I don't blame Topper for what's going on right now, and I don't. I really don't, because this is fucking Dombrowski all over the place. What is
But they're
he
regressing.
What is he supposed to do with this bullpen? Who's blowing? They've blown the most leads. They've blown 8. They've blown 8 leads or 7 leads.
7 of 13 games they lost, they blew.
Yes.
Wow.
Has been because of the bullpen. How's that Topper?
Yeah.
How's that his fault? How's that his fault?
Well, if you got a pitch that's fucking way outside and he calls it a fucking
Well,
strike.
and that was a bothersome moment.
Like Topper needs to come out and argue that.
When JT gets rung up on a call like that, and everyone in the stadium is booing, and Topper just sits there with his arms crossed.
Well,
handsome Rob, that bothered me. I'm like, dude, and he said that wasn't the time or place to get thrown out.
Rob Zombie.
Maybe it fucking is. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe that is the time. Maybe you light a fire on your team's ass, and you said, you know what? You go out and yell, because he never yells. He never screams. It's always okay, and he walks back to his dugout with his back.
Kick some dirt on the umpire.
He doesn't do that. All right, then get Larry as your bench coach and let him do it.
Let someone do it. All right.
Yeah,
Why
just
you
hire an anger management coordinator.
Yeah.
Do
somebody with blood pressure medicine.
Something, dude. They need some life in this team. All right. We're going to do a very quick While You Were Drunk segment and call it a show. So it's 2.5 hours long. All right, here we go.
I am not drunk, man. You're trying to make me drunk.
It's time to catch up on some things you may have missed.
Do you think a six-pack is acceptable?
While you were drunk.
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
All right, so real quick, While You Were Drunk, stories you may have missed in the last 2 weeks. This is fucked up. So Derek Harmon was drafted by the Steelers.
Ugh.
And drafted, went to the hospital where his mother was on life support and told her that he was drafted by the Steelers, and she fucking died. She fucking died like right after.
You know what? But that's you say it's fucked up. That's his mom hanging on long enough to wait until he gets drafted.
I like that point.
And then knowing that she's like, okay, I can go now.
Yeah. It's really weird though. We got we have audio. We have audio from the room.
Why are you gonna do this?
And they're like, wait, they shot her? I thought she died off of life support.
Mom.
By the way, for you guys don't know.
So you're being fucked up about it. I actually have audio over here, and this is the last thing she said. She said, hold on.
God damn
Mom, I made the Steelers, and she said,
God damn it.
I will say the best thing about the NFL draft is the stories of all the athletes who have been through the ringer. That was the only one.
last thing that came out of her mouth. Right here.
So he gets drafted. His mom lays a fart and dies.
It's so bad that we got fucking Tua short now.
He gets drafted. His mom lays a fart and dies.
Dude, look at his fucking comment. No dad.
And Chris is saying the same thing. He's like, we got two Keiths now. What the fuck?
Where's his dad? What about his dad? Where's he at?
Hold on. Does Keith break your balls for not having the proper equipment? Because that's what I get broken my balls about. Well, not anymore.
No, these guys are smart. They go over to fucking Sean's house because it's already set up and they don't have to deal with it.
Virtual show. Sean gets mad.
Oh God,
yeah.
Their equipment consistently doesn't work.
Now I got a new mic.
Yeah, it's worked. It's worked. You sounded good tonight, dude. Sounded good tonight.
Okay, all right, whatever.
All right, so Emmitt Smith is tired of hearing "Go Birds" everywhere he goes. He said,
"Well, fuck him."
They have a long way to catch up to us. He said, first of all, us means he won 3. The Eagles have 2. So if he wants to go that technical route, we're only 1 behind you. Because you weren't part of the team in the 70s. You fuck.
We also have 2 other championships,
and you're also not part of the teams now. So what do you care what the Eagles do? But I love the fact that Eagles fans see Emmitt Smith
and troll
and fucking say "Go Birds."
Yeah.
Go Birds. Yeah.
You know what I need? I need that kid from the Vikings game who's like "Go Birds" to the lady
face.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that. Dude, if that's not one of the most quintessential fucking Philadelphia fan moments, where like, I'm not going to touch you and I dare you to do something to me, and I'm going to scream in your fucking face, and you know I'm right.
Who cares about what Emmitt Smith says?
Like you go back and you think of like that NFC Championship game. We had an idiot punch a police horse, and then you have a guy go "Go Birds" without even falling out in front of someone's face.
I forgot about the punching the police horse thing.
Why would you do that?
I mean,
Your hand's gonna be more fucked up than the horse.
Well, we got audio of the horse. You guys know what that's from, right? Animal House. When they shoot the horse.
I thought he was dead.
When the horse free frames and there's
Holy shit!
But guys, the horse was okay because it got up and said this.
Actually, we actually have audio of the horse making it.
Right there, Ruby, right there. Don't stop. Don't stop. Oh, you hit the spot. Whoa. Ruby!
Is that guy's working out?
Emmitt Smith, suck my balls. Go Birds.
All right,
That I
so
can go
Steve Mongo McMichael, man, dude, you guys just started up a wrestling podcast. That guy was a big part of wrestling, WCW, doing the Full Horseman, and of course, he was a great player for Chicago Bears for many years. Passed away at the age of 67. ALS, man, fucked up, dude. He was suffering for a while. He looked nothing like what he used to.
Yeah,
ALS is a motherfucker.
It was
man.
a few years.
Yeah,
that's a shame, dude. It's
crazy what he looks like.
Yeah,
Mongo.
He was a big motherfucker, man. Big motherfucker. He used to roll with Arn Anderson and Ric Flair and
Arn.
Yeah,
he was.
Who was the other one? Who was the other one in the Four Horsemen? It was Arn Anderson, Ric Flair.
Don't forget Ole Arn Anderson, his brother.
Oh, that was later, but like who was
Mongo? Was Mongo in the cartoon? I think he was. I think he was like him. Or I remember there was like
The original was old Anderson, Tully Blanchard,
Wow.
Ric Flair, Arn Anderson. That was, and it was started by Jim Crockett Promotions.
Jim Crockett? Wait, Callie's saying Bam Bam Bigelow.
No.
Not the original.
No, it was the Anderson brothers, Mongo.
Mike's like, you guys are talking fucking French to me. Mike has no. He doesn't.
Mike, do you even do you even go attitude error? Have you done like? Are you like no wrestling at all?
I was a Hulk Hogan fan. I remember being a Hulk Hogan fan when I was a kid.
Right.
And I had like a Hulk Hogan
guy.
Yeah, all that stuff, and like I had the
Coco Beware.
exercise like stuff that I did
am
from Hulk
a
Hogan.
real American.
But I don't remember it that well. And then at some point, I just
grew up.
I couldn't get over the fact that it was fake. Yeah.
So
and then I compared it to Jerry Springer, and basically it was like Jerry Springer is wrestling, but
all right, let's just go this way. What's your favorite TV show? Just go with it.
Favorite TV show
of all time. Of all time.
You know, I guess something like The Sopranos, The Wire, something like that.
You shouldn't like it. It's not real. You know that, right? They're all actors.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that the wrestlers are incredible athletes. I get that.
It's just too camp and hokey for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've always been.
It's like watching Batman. It's 1966 now.
It's something
Is that what it is?
it's something that's trying to be real, but
I mean, now they made it pretty obvious. That, now
they broke the fourth wall in such a way of it's. They definitely acknowledge the storytelling of it, and
like I can go all the way back to Bob fucking Backlund.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking it. It just. I just didn't
not
have
your
interest.
thing.
Yeah.
It's not your thing. That's cool.
Yeah, no, and I get it. Like it's I go in and out of it. I'm with you on it. I do. I hear you.
I mean, I don't even get a chance to watch much of the Phillies games anymore.
Yeah.
I just
You old fat bitch! You fat bitch!
That's not very nice. She's not.
No, that's not cool. That's just I don't like when people do that to you. I feel like you deserve more respect, Mike. And that wasn't nice of them to do that.
I actually meant to play. I meant to play.
it wasn't nice.
You know what's funny is Sean commented he's a Junkyard Dog guy. I love
Junkyard Dog.
I used to go to my uncle used to get tickets. I always used to go to the Spectrum on Saturday nights.
Saturday night main event, right? Wasn't that what it's called? Saturday night main event.
Used to go all the time. I love JYD.
Dude, I've been trying, like, no, not to get into the whole thing, but I'm friends with someone who is very much involved with
Oh yeah,
ECW,
you're still working on that.
and we're trying to get Raven and Sandman on.
Quote the Raven.
That's so
Never
funny. I was when I was at Temple, I went down to the bingo hall and watched them every week.
Yeah.
And when I was really young, my dad took me to the Civic Center down by where Chop is, and it's gone now.
Yeah.
That's the first time I saw Mick Foley as Cactus Jack.
Yeah, that's fucking early 80s.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I always joke around. I went to an ECW match for the first time, actually with Keith's brother-in-law before he got this go years ago, and we were sitting there, and I forget who it was. They're like, I need a chair, and chairs just started getting thrown. I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
We brought weapons. We brought weapons to the events.
It's like we're just throwing chairs into the ring.
The barbed wire, Terry Funk, and all that, dude. That was nuts stuff, dude. I mean, some of this you can't fake some of that shit, man.
It's
So
Like
there would be times where Paul Heyman would actually take out some of the shit we would bring. But some of the times they would throw it in there. Yeah. What's his face used to take my buddy's stuff all the time. The Dudley.
The Dudley Boys. Yeah.
Not. It was when what's his face was by himself. It was Bubba when Bubba was just by himself.
Bubba Ray. Yeah. Okay. I knew exactly you're talking about.
Yeah. He took a lot of my friend shit and used to use it in the ring. Now they would change it sometimes, and they would, obviously make it a little bit safer, and they would now hold it correctly. But man, those guys were psychos.
Yeah. Fucking Cactus Jack. I mean, Mick Foley was a fucking psycho.
This stuff is hot.
The shit he put his body through, man.
1999. Hell in a Cell.
Oh my god, that was the most insane.
Like
moment.
Jackass, but worse.
Dude, he could have died. He could have fucking died.
His tooth was went through his lip and in his nose.
Wow.
Yeah. Bushwhackers. He's saying
British Bulldogs.
He's dead too, right?
Like Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Didn't he die too? British Bulldog. Didn't he die?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! We're gonna have to do a second part 2 show sometime.
I know, seriously.
Like Jake the Snake Roberts.
I'll tell you what. If we get Sandman and Raven on, because they're both local, but they're both fucking so busy, dude. They're busy every weekend because they're doing shows and they're still doing
signings.
They're both still wrestling small shows. They're traveling all over. But I've been on top of this guy. He's telling me he's going to get them. He's going to get them. He's going to get them. So, and you know what? He fulfilled one big promise to me. I got to meet Metallica last summer, so I assume that he's going to probably hold his promise to this as well. So, I'll keep dude. Fucking look at all these fucking names: Hacksaw,
George the Animal,
George the Animal Steel, Ivan Putski.
Why?
Sergeant,
I don't see
Trickle. I remember.
I don't see anybody.
Trickle. He was he
just left my house. My wife's all of a sudden asking for water upstairs.
Yeah, Dick Trickle's the delivery guy for pizza.
Where's I don't see Chris Benoit.
Oh,
he's dead. He killed himself after he murdered his family.
Well, he was waiting to celebrate Father's Day this year.
Gary don't miss a goddamn thing, does he?
No. Guys, it's been a fucking blast.
Yeah, it has.
Wasn't that his move too? That Chris Benoit's thing? Yeah. Christ.
And then he would jump.
That's a sad goddamn story.
Dude took too many headshots.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a it's not a way to kind of treat your brain and think you're going to be okay just in the long run.
That's fucked
I look
up.
at Junior Seau. All these guys have fucking head injuries, dude. It's a shame. Goddamn shame.
Aaron Hernandez.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero was a heart attack, though, right?
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero was a heart attack.
It was a heart attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I mean, coke.
Well,
Lots of coke.
He did a lot. He did a lot of drugs when he was in the Four Horsemen.
All right.
Off of Sable's. No, not Sable. What's her name?
His wife.
What's
Stacy Keibler?
I remember Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno was a classic, terrible
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Who was Disco Inferno when he was in W? Who was that? Oh, not IRS. Who the fuck was? Am I right? Who was Disco Inferno when in WWF? Maybe I'm right.
I don't know.
IRS?
Was he not IRS?
He was always Disco Inferno.
No, he wasn't. He joined WCW as Disco Inferno, but he was someone else in WWF.
He was Disco Inferno.
He's looking it up.
The only time that I ever remember Disco Inferno is from the movie Ready to Rumble.
He was in.
He was
Correct.
in that movie.
Yeah,
That's it.
All of them were.
Okay.
No, he went to TNA. He didn't go to. He
was never in WWF.
No.
So he's always Disco Inferno. When you went to
Disco Inferno. I was gonna say I don't think he made the jump over even when they bought him out. I think he got cut from the roster when Vince.
Dude, we got to do. If we got those guys on, we got to do it. We got to do a complete show. Because like now I'm thinking of fucking Vincent. Remember $1 Million Man? He was
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, he was his bodyguard in the fuck was his name?
In Ready to Rumble?
No, in WWF. He was his bodyguard. He was $1 Million Man's bodyguard in WWF. I forget his name.
Virgil?
Virgil.
Come on, man. Don't do that to me.
And he was complete fucking dickhead, apparently. Like,
Virgil was what's his face from Friday.
No, he wasn't.
No, you're thinking of no, that's a
I know who you're thinking about. I can't think of it, but I know who you're thinking about.
Oh, Lester.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Lester. You're right.
He's a lot smaller than that dude.
Yeah.
That cross-eyed motherfucker.
Yeah.
Zeus from No Holds Barred. No Holds Barred. That's who you're thinking of.
Yeah. Wasn't he in fucking Friday?
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Did he play Debo in Friday?
He was. That's what he said.
Yeah. That's
that. I miss
Debo.
Zeus and Thunder Lips.
Yeah, there was one time
Debo stole his bike.
my stepson, he's riding his bike, right? Me and the old lady are outside. He's coming up around the bend, and you hear squeak, squeak on his bike. Squeak, squeak. And she says, hide your shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, he was Ted DiBiase's bodyguard for 4 years. They try to push him over. They try to do everything for him, but apparently he is one of the biggest douchebags in all of wrestling.
Stood there with his fucking sleeves up.
Yep.
Whose chain is that? That's my chain.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He would carry around his briefcase with the money and everything. Yeah.
Yes. You just walk next to him. Rarely wrestle. When he wrestled, he got his ass kicked every time.
Yeah, apparently he was not very well liked.
No.
Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Jay Parr mentioned him. Yeah. All right. We're going to call it a show, boys.
That's what we got to do.
Absolute blast. This was fun, man. We covered a lot of stuff. We enjoyed having you guys on. And fucking anytime, man. Anytime. And look, I'm going to keep on top of him because I didn't know you guys were. Dude, I haven't watched wrestling in 20 years, but it's still kind of like, you know, I know what happened. I know John Cena just won and all. I kind of keep up a little bit.
Yeah, it was a terrible match.
But I just don't watch it religiously anymore. But but we get Sandman and Raven on. You guys gotta come. You gotta pop on, dude. That'd be awesome.
They're close too.
Yeah, you guys are only Northeast Philly, so yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, just hide your valuables because this guy, Parkway.
Yeah, I get it. So before we log off, you guys got to tell the people again about your podcast, about the Broken Bell Network, and where they can find you guys.
All right. No, shut up. Yours was way too long and wordy last time. Broken Bell Network. Just do a search on YouTube, on Facebook, Philly Podcast. We're all over the socials. Just do a Google search. If you care enough, you'll find us. If you don't, you won't. So it doesn't matter.
I love it. Guys, it was an absolute blast having you on.
Good night, gentlemen.
Have a great
Gary,
night.
it was a pleasure. Thanks, man.
Always fun talking to you guys.
Tell Mikey at this point he's been gone too long. That is definitely a double flusher.
Yeah, he's up. No, I hear him talking. He's talking to the old lady upstairs.
Yeah, he's talking to your wife, Sean.
Yeah, that's all I better be doing.
Somebody's snuggling tonight.
Dickle trickle, what?
Like, she's like, I love him. Like he comes over and whispers my ear and lets you do stuff to me.
Well, so in 2 weeks, Corner Puff's supposed to be back again, but we're gonna do another Saturday night. All right, we're not doing Friday night in 2 weeks. So Friday, May 10th, that night we'll be back on again. All right. All right. See you guys.
See you guys.
Thank you so much. Take care. All right. Podcast is done. We're still live streaming. Guys, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on. This was fun.
Yeah, you guys are the man. I appreciate you.
It was fun, man. It was a good time. Thanks for hanging out. I know we go a little long, man. We go a little long for sure, but
yeah, no. We used to do the same, but we go on at like 9 o'clock. So I told them we got to start doing a tight hour. But we started at 7. You can go as fucking long as it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Especially on a Saturday,
right?
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, we do Fridays, 8:15. Which
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I never got to tell you the story about.
There's been Friday nights. Oh yeah, we'll just do an early show. We started 8 at fucking 11 o'clock. We're still on.
Dude, so we used to. Oh man, and I'm sure you probably heard of them. I didn't get into it when I was on with you guys. So when we first started, we were on this Mixler.com or whatever it was. We started that for a little while. And all right, hold on, I got to put our banner up to make the boner coverage. All right, cool. Because we get this, I can get all night. I'll be tuning in, boner coverage. They're all happy. They're all happy to get boners tonight on a Saturday night. So we were on Mixler.
We are live still.
Oh yeah, we are. We're streaming. We're streaming live. Yeah, we're streaming live.
Not on the show no more.
The podcast is done, but the stream is still live.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
On the feeds, yeah. Yeah, podcast is done recording, So anyway, so we're on this Mixler.com. We do this thing. And then we're doing it Saturday afternoons or something. And then we join a network, Wildfire Radio.
Yeah, it was before me.
Yeah. And we joined this. Have you ever heard of them? Wildfire? No. Good thing. We joined them, and it's this grand ordeal, this whole thing, this website, and you're going to be featured at this time, and we're going to, blah, 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 blah. And look, I got to tell you, they had some heavy hitters. They had Metallica, they had Mitch Williams, they had, I can't say his fucking last name. The drummer from the Hooters had his own music podcast. David, I can't say his last name. It begins with an O. It's a long ass name. Anyway.
All you zombies, hide your faces.
They had all these fucking people on. And they're like, all right, 8 o'clock Friday night. So you guys are going to, all right, cool. Sounds good. And 4th and John was on the station. And then all of a sudden, like, we go to do our live feed, and we had a special login. We had to do the whole thing. And all of a sudden, we can't get on. What's going on here?
Yeah, we'll put you on stream.
And there's some other show. Oh yeah, Leslie get out. Hollis Thomas. Look at fucking Callie, dude. He's back now. And all of a sudden, there's a wrestling show. Wrestling show is on. I'm like, the fuck? We're supposed to be on. Like, what are these guys doing? They go, oh, you guys are gonna be on stream 3. Stream 3? What the fuck is stream 3? Oh, we have 3 different streams on our website. Okay, how are our listeners gonna find us? Like, what's going on? So then it became a problem for so many weeks. It was like, all right, you guys got to start at 8:15 because the wrestling show's done by then. You'll be on stream 1 at 8:15. So we stuck with that time, and we've been on that time ever since.
But we paid them for stream A.
We did. We paid them, and then they started fucking us because then the podcasts were getting posted, and all kinds of crazy stuff was happening. It was like, yo, you know what? We're done. You can't just leave. No, we literally can. Like, we're done. Like, we're gonna do our own thing, and we started doing this, the virtual, the video, and the our own thing. I paid for hosting and all that stuff, and then we just did it that way, and they went under. Like, I don't know, not because of us, but like a couple months later, done, over with. They had a really nice studio in Jersey, like it was 4 rooms dedicated to podcasting, like
they jumped the gun and went, and they grew too fast.
David Usekian, that's his name. David Usekian is a drummer for the Hooters.
He's just a drummer.
He is. He's a great drummer, though.
Yeah.
Good drummer. It's a good item.
He's fucking
Just hey,
the Hooters.
I just bought one of these things.
Nice. Look at that. That's
I'm teaching myself how to play guitar.
Yeah, we kind of had that issue.
What's the make? Well, I'm sorry. What's the make there? What's the make?
It's an Enya.
Enya.
It's a carbon fiber
I was gonna say,
acoustic
it's a
guitar.
cool looking body.
Yeah, carbon fiber acoustic guitar. It's very.
Yeah, Sean likes the guitars.
I know. I saw them up there, but like it has actually an amp in there.
Do you need some time alone, Sean? Are you okay, Sean?
We want to hear you play some.
No, I only know 2 chords right now. I swear to you. I know a D, and then I know.
You would.
What's that? I know an A.
All right.
Like, that's about it. I'm done. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Chris, for saying something.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're right. You're like you hate when you run into issues like that. Like
Beep 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 beep. In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
yeah, like we ran into issues like that. We went with a
stupid
other podcast other podcast group, and everybody had different. Everyone's got different personalities, and our personalities didn't mix with those guys. And then like I said, they came out and reached out to us, and then I was like, sure. I was like, you can you help grow your audience, you build our audience. I'm like, we got the page with at that time it was like 40,000 followers. I was like, yeah, you can use it. Like, that's fine. I was like, I don't care. I'm like, it's more content that goes out on my page. Well, our disagreement turned into a big thing because we were with this network, he was trying to tell me that I couldn't stream my Phillies podcast and my Northeast podcast because they weren't part of his network. I was like, that's not
gonna play.
I'm like, it's my page. You're not like the 3 people run my page.
That's insane.
And I was like, and he just it was ridiculous. And
was this when you first started?
No. This was like 4 months ago.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was 4 months ago. Like when we went to another network, because we were with Six Pack Coverage for a little bit. It's their Albert Hainsworth, the ex-Titan, ex-Redskin.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so like we were part of that, and then they got out of podcast business, which was fine. And then me and Eric were doing our own thing, and then like I said last year, me, Keith, and JV, we started doing the Hall of Fame Club podcast
2 years ago.
But we started last year. We came up with the idea 2 years ago. We started it in 2024. Okay. So please don't question my math. I may not read, but I can math. So we
like, is this the guy you said it's like me?
That is not correct.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah. So I was like, I brought Keith and JV over. We brought our stuff, and then it was just a whole big disagreement, and then it literally got worse, and then it was like, you can't have them stream because they're not part of our network. Me and Eric built the page, and Keith now runs the page as well. There's 3 people who run this page. One of these 3 is gonna tell me where I can stream, not an outsider. And then we just left.
Yeah.
It's like when you think you have all the control, and you don't. It was a Napoleon complex, and it is what it is. We cut our ties, and
I think the biggest thing that made us upset was when he said this.
We select Albert Hainsworth, I'm Not a Murderer podcast.
Yes.
Wasn't he? Yeah, he was the one that had something.
know,
Like
something
there's
weird happened
something.
with him.
Yeah, I remember there being some.
This is
story.
the cool. So we usually do this like on Friday nights. We drink quite a bit, and then we end the show, and then we hang out in the boner coverage. And
Yeah, sorry, fellas, for missing the end of the. I did, catch up with Sean's wife. We had some catching up to do.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
See, what the fuck?
How's Sean's wife and your kids?
Actually, it was about my kids, so ironically, yeah.
Yeah, there's no denying my motherfuckers, man. Jesus Christ. Thank God.
Mike went up there for girl fucking talk.
Yeah.
I got enough of you guys.
One's just really tan.
He's like, I just really want to I want to talk about me for a moment, okay?
That's exactly what it was. You guys don't understand.
They're talking about wrestling. I don't know this shit.
I needed to talk about feelings, and they're just two guys.
Yeah, dude, he went upstairs and told my fucking John Cena and shit.
I can't talk about feelings with my wife. I got to talk about it with somebody else's wife.
As Mike's talking to Sean's wife, his nipples are leaking.
I got nipples too. Could you milk me, fucker?
Why am I lactating? What is the sensation I feel?
You got a tissue.
Oh my God.
You have an extra training bra
Yeah,
around.
fuck.
I'm in the middle of my transition.
Can I borrow your pump for a second?
How long can you freeze it for?
Does witch hazel expire?
Fuck you guys.
Apparently this turned into the roast of Mike in the last.
How long did your episiotomy itch for?
Oh no!
Did you taste the same?
Talk about a taint that's all ripped up.
Sorry, man. I break people down for a living. That's just to build them back up. You're doing a great job, Mike. Doing a great job.
Thank you. But like, you're a high school teacher, so I think that this is the only way that you survive. I give you all the credit in the world for that.
No. He is the absolute worst human being in school and outside of school.
He told me some stories last pot. I'm like, oh, like, yeah. I'm like,
oh, all right.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't said terrible shit. Like, I really have not. Some of the things I've heard other teachers say. I have heard another teacher say, your entire existence depends on a box of wine and a broken condom.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, but he said that to his son.
Yeah. This is not me. This is things I've heard in education.
Melissa said it one time. Like, come on.
How about a student that identifies as a furry?
Hello, you sit in row 3, seat 4. I don't give a crap what you identify as. It's not my. I'm just here to teach math. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So in my daughter's school, there's a student that identifies as a furry, and they got a litter pan and everything for this student.
I don't.
It is what it is.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
So this student puts her nails on my daughter, and she's going. Meow. So my daughter cracks her, punches her.
You know what?
And lays her out.
He told me the story last
And so I get a call from the school. I got to go to the school. So the teachers tell me, I said, no. Like, I don't, if this student puts her hands on my daughter, she's going to get cracked. That's what she gets.
Yeah, it's called
And these
assault.
students- Yeah. Well, if I don't care if you're meowing or not. So now the disciplinarian says, well, your daughter's got to do a Saturday school. And she did her Saturday this morning. But that other student didn't get punished. I said, well, why doesn't the other student get punished? Well, she has mental issues. I don't care if she's got mental issues.
That's a slippery slope.
We're going down a slippery slope, and I get it, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go
What's
Birds.
everybody still drinking?
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough.
Corona.
Garage beer. You moved on to. So wait, you have a whole case of garage beer, but you're drinking Corona. I'm confused.
The garage beer was warm.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter had to come down and crack open the bottle for me.
That's true.
So, Keith, when did you become a teacher?
25 years ago.
Okay, all right. I was wait, how old are you?
I'm 45. I'm old. I'm 46.
All right, I mean,
we're the same
age.
He's not that old.
Right, same age.
So wait,
Yeah,
you were
got
teaching
right out of high school,
right out of college. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but your college, you'd only been 20.
So I graduated high school when I was 17. I did summers at Temple, so I actually finished in 3.5 years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, the map checked out.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where like I want to get done.
Yeah. Actually, I went to school for elementary education, and I went to CCP. Yeah, I did. I went to CCP, and I had a dual admissions agreement with Temple, and then I was working full time. Long story short, my mom was a single mom. Whatever. I'm trying to make my own ends meet. That kind of thing.
Right.
And so I worked during the day and went to school at night. And then I get through the program, and Temple isn't going to honor most of my credits. I'm like, I fucking went to I went.
Yeah, I still don't. I never understood that.
And Temple would not honor most of my. They're like, oh, you have to redo this. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing it.
They changed so much because of people like you.
Yeah.
Because of that, they wrote into law that they have to honor those as transfer credits. CCP, like all state schools, Temple, anything that gets state funding has to accept community college credits as their adjacents, or as best possible. Because of what you described, you're not around the same time. There are so many people who went in on this like 2-year pathway to a 4-year type thing. They got screwed over. You're describing exactly why they made it a law within the last 10, 15 years.
Isn't that the whole point of CCP though? Like to be the 2-year pathway for it. So how
they screwed over so many people in the last 20 years because of that.
That's bullshit.
Wow.
Yeah, made a lot of degrees worthless.
It looks like Callie's wife.
So
same thing.
So you graduated what, like 2000, 2001?
2000. Well, it's so December of 2000 because it was like I should have really been like May of 2001.
Right.
But it ended up being my student teaching was done. I did it the first half of the school year. I had a mid-year graduation. It was kind of weird. Like I had a mid-year. I didn't even go back to Temple to do the whole official ceremony.
Right.
So I just went to teaching.
You graduated and you moved on, and like you didn't even bother. Like in May was when the
I was already a teacher. I already had a classroom set up.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah. I graduated.
Wow,
I transferred over in 01 and then graduated from Temple in 03. So we probably weren't even on campus at the same time.
I was there when SAC became what it is today at the very, very end. By the time you got there, it was probably already that
right
mega structure. But I was there for like the original, like it was like this little, dude, it was cool. They had an arcade in there and people went in there and just fucking smoked weed wherever they wanted to. And it was just it was like a real shitbag of a rec center. But
yeah, I did that in high school.
Yeah. I mean, where'd you go to high school?
Roman Catholic.
Yeah, that's where you. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they used to do down there.
I commuted though, so I didn't stay. Like I wasn't down in the rec center.
We were Washington kids, Mike and I.
Washington High School.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I taught there in 2005.
Yeah, shit.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you didn't drink.
2005. 2005, 2010.
Oh, you taught there for 5 years, huh?
And you taught math, right? Hold on.
Yeah, I was the roster chair there too.
Was Weinberg still a teacher there?
Weintraub?
Weinberg.
Are you sure Weinberg? I thought Weinberg was Rush.
Weinberg was the Washington.
Math?
Yes, she's taught algebra.
He's back from his frat party.
Oh, nice.
Was she hot? Was she hot?
No. No. She. What was her?
I had some terrible teachers in Washington.
Dude, so you remember
math.
she was a lesbian tennis player. So we tried to hook her up with a
she had Batman.
Dude, I don't know how I should have gotten expelled 17 times from that school.
I don't know how like
Mike would tell you. Mike's like, you were always the one who got away with this shit. Like I was I was bad. So
you're still bad.
You went with my sister-in-law. You went to high school with my sister-in-law.
Who's your sister-in-law?
Veronica Gutt.
I remember Veronica. I remember her. Yeah, absolutely.
My sister-in-law.
Oh no shit, dude, 100%.
Married my brother.
I remember her. Absolutely.
Yeah. She was on track.
Yeah.
blonde
Yeah.
hair, like looked
I-
like Jessica Simpson. I tell her all the time, you still look like Jessica Simpson.
I remember that dude. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know her. Like, I wasn't like friends with her or anything. Like,
I
dude,
feel
as soon
like
as you
she
said the
was.
name, I knew the name.
I feel like I don't know if I was in. Maybe I was in a couple classes with her. She was in like the same college prep program that I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's a teacher there now, Michelle. She's a dance teacher there or phys ed teacher. She was friends with probably you guys and all that stuff. 7th grade. That's pretty freaking early.
That is pretty early.
Yeah,
That's
7th
pretty
grade.
early to get like at school, right? Like
We brought beers.
Of course you did.
I definitely remember the vodka and the orange juice in high school and the Sunny D bottles. Like that was something.
We did that.
Yeah, and I remember a girl getting really sick because it's Sunny D you're really drinking.
Right.
It wasn't the vodka that made you sick. It was the Sunny D. Like, let's be honest.
A lot of fucking sugar.
What was her first name? So anyway, so we were trying to hook this teacher up with our JV football coach because he was singing.
Yeah, you're playing matchmaker with a
Dude, I set a fire in the classroom. I can't. Okay, let me stay on path.
Dude, they can't get you now. They can't. You can.
It's
It's
so
fine.
bad.
It's fine.
It's so bad.
The statute of limitations.
Dude,
yeah, I went to Fells. I went to the old Fells before they
I know
knocked it
Fells,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. I had a key. I had a key, more keys than the building engineer there. Like it was dangling like shh, like a whole set. I was on stage crew, so they just said, "Yeah, man, this is what you get for." And then it just gave you the keys to the kingdom. I would like walk up in the rafters above the auditorium and the girders and like.
I was in stage crew also.
Yeah, dude, we ran that school. It was weird. One day I popped out on the 3rd floor of a closet from like above the auditorium, and a teacher goes, "Hey, did I see you earlier?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Pop out of that closet over there." I was like, "The book closet?" She goes, "Yeah, the book closet." And I was like, "Why would I have been in the book closet?" And she goes, "Yeah, I don't know. You're right." And 20 years later, we're at a wedding. And it's for a teacher that we have in common because I ended up teaching with some of the teachers that I knew over the years. And we're at the wedding together. And I go up to her. I was like, "Hey, Pat." She goes, "Yeah, what's up?" She goes, "Remember that time you saw me pop out of a closet and then you asked me about it?" She goes, you did, didn't you?" I was like, "Yes." She goes, "I fucking knew it." She hadn't forgotten it. She had not forgotten that I had
Good
popped.
shit.
Yeah, good for her.
That's awesome.
That drove her crazy for 20 years.
Well, so I drew this. So Callie's story is great. We locked our lead actor in a school play before the play in a closet. The play got delayed for 10 minutes. Stage. Fuck you, Callie. Stage crew equals ones that can't act. All right. So anyway. So we're trying to hook these guys up. We're trying to hook our JV football coach up with our math teacher. And
meanwhile, you didn't play JV football.
No. But he was our what was it called?
Electric something or other?
No. Before
advisor.
Advisor. He was our advisor to get checked in. So one day we're in math class, and he walks in looking for someone in our class. And we all, do the whole thing. The next day, I drew a picture, and he looked like Garfield. So I drew a picture of Garfield's head with a human body banging her from behind on a desk. And there's algebra questions on the back, and there's splooge everywhere. And it's fun. Dude, it was insane. And
how long did you fucking do that? How long did it take you to do this?
Dude, like 10 minutes. My buddy Dave was in the class before me. I gave it to him, and he dropped it on the desk in between classes so he wouldn't know. He fucking knew. He's like, "I know it was you." Fucking ass. Like he knew. When we're about to graduate, we're leaving class. We left school early. We're leaving the parking lot. He leaves in this junker. This fucking. I feel bad. Like now looking back, like this guy was trying to make a living. This car was a piece of shit. He looks at us, and we're like, "Hey, Mr. Wazusik," or whatever. Fucking. He looks at us and goes, "Fuck you," and hangs his fucking finger out and just peels off of this piece of shit. Smoke blunt. Dude, it was bad.
You ruined his fucking life.
Dude, so so he was our advisor. We were on the 3rd floor. We had designated hallways, up and down hallways, right? 3rd floor was the top floor of Washington. We were the first classroom to the down hallway. So we take out the curtain.
I don't even remember there were 3 fucking floors.
We take out the curtain rods, and me and my buddy Dave would be the first one was out and put the curtain rods through the door handles. So all the kids are trying to come out the doors and they can't fucking get because we stuck the curtain rods. We'd be on the first floor. You hear the doors like fucking assholes. And finally you hear a snap. You know, they all come running through. And that advisor classroom was a science classroom. So they had the back door. Hold on, Gary. The back door was unlocked, and they had fish and pig embryos. We take the jars and throw them out the window.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh my God,
dude, it was like the beginning of the summer, and the classroom below us because they were laying on the roof. It was the annex. Remember the annex?
Yeah.
It extended out to the other, and it would land on the annex roof, which was the 2nd floor. That was their sight line, and it started to stink. Like who was throwing the fish and pigs?
Jesus Christ!
So yeah,
dude, he's fucking terrible.
That's fucked up.
All right,
I got nothing. I think I got to sign off.
Dude. Yeah, we were assholes. All right, Garrett, take care.
He hasn't changed. He's grown, but
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, not much has changed. Trust me. Yeah, dude, I'm still getting over it. I'm getting better though. It's starting to come out.
You feeling all right? Is it allergies or?
Yeah, I'm all right. AIDS. It's just AIDS.
No, I have allergies too right now. It's so bad.
The allergies bad.
Cut the grass.
Hopefully the fucking rain helps.
I cut the grass on Tuesday. Ever since, I've been a mess. Like
I messed up. I didn't start taking my allergy medication in March like I should have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I appreciate
Sounds
you
good.
guys having me on.
Thank you,
Chris.
Now we'll
it was
log
a pleasure,
off,
man.
Keith, thank you. Chris,
it was
both of you guys,
awesome.
man.
I just looked on. You guys have like 225 comments. You guys are awesome.
It's 200 from Jay and Mark.
No, actually, Mark hasn't been on.
Callie.
Mark hasn't been on in a while. Callie did a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, man. We love you guys, and we'll work something out soon. And
please,
we got to do this again, man. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got maybe we'll slide over and we'll do like a live thing. Maybe you could teach me some chords and how to transition anchor figure.
Gary actually he grabbed my acoustic and put it next to me. I'm like, dude, I'm not playing tonight. Oh, fucking put it. And pops it next to me. I'm like, I'm not playing the guitar tonight. That's not happening. But yeah, man, we'll work something out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Although I'm this is gonna fuck you up. I'm left-handed and I play right-handed.
So is that how good you are?
I'm left-handed and I play it strong right-handed.
But upside down.
I play upside down. My low E is on my bottom.
Your is on the bottom.
Yes.
Why?
Because I learned that way on my own. My buddy came over to play with me one time to teach me some, chords and stuff. And he's like,
later.
How was he playing with you? I don't know. I'm rolling out.
And he goes, oh yeah. And he goes, what the fuck are you doing? Are you messing with me? I'm like, no, you play backwards. So yeah.
You didn't even know.
I didn't know any better because I had only been playing for like a year, like on my own. Back then, VHS videos and shit like that. And tabs, think about it, tabs are left to right. Well, all right, when I say that, no, that's not true. Whatever, when you're, I'm trying to think when I started playing. No, actually, no, that's not true because I didn't have internet back then. Tabs were left to right structure. It was G chord, D chord, whatever. And I just put my fingers where the chords were.
I had internet. I play bass. Like I can really, I know we're still live, but I can still
kind of live.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can play single chords. I know my note changes, but when it comes down to playing like dude, we're talking about like I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
So major chords, major minor chords, I'm good. Bar chords, I have a problem with. That's where my issue is. Bar chords, when my index finger has to go across everything, and I'm trying to configure the other chords, the other fingers. That's kind of where my things get messed up. So that's my problem, my biggest weakness in playing that way. But
I don't know. I started a week ago. You know what I mean?
But you just played that, and that's not bad.
When I tell you I just got this guitar yesterday, I did, and I had an old guitar that I had that I was like messing with.
I like the body on that thing, man. That's nice.
Honestly,
it's like a carbon fiber. Yeah, dude, that looks like a steel guitar. Can you see that, Mike?
Yeah,
that's nice.
I mean, it has some really good effects on it that are built in with the preamp. Let me see.
Oh yeah, a little reverb. Yeah, it sounds like you're in a concert hall, an empty concert hall, which would be like when you actually.
So
yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like $180. It comes with the bag. It comes with, it's still like you can hook it up to your phone. It has an app to it. You can control all the effects
It's
through the
like
phone.
a starter guitar.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
That's what I bought. Starter guitar.
That's what it looks like, but it's a cool body. It's a cool body guitar, dude. The guitar I have is probably 100 years old. I don't know if it's that old. It's old.
Here's what I was sick of. I was sick of like every time I would get a guitar and think about playing it again, the action on it has been messed up. The neck is messed up. The temperature, everything's gotten messed up. So I finally got carbon fiber where I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's good. And if you can play acoustic, and you started playing acoustic guitar, you can play electric with ease.
It does translate?
Yes, because acoustic, the action on an acoustic guitar is rougher on your fingers. Much rougher. You got to push down harder, and you have to really make sure those chords ring well because it sounds weird on an acoustic. If you don't, electric, you can hide quite a bit. You can hide things on an electric. If you can play an acoustic guitar, you can play an electric with no problem.
Look, within 6 months, I'm hoping I can play like something stupid like Four Non-Blondes. Like, you know what I mean?
Dude, you learn 3 chords. 3 chords in the truth, brother. You play 3 chords, you'll learn. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna say within a month, you're gonna know 3 chords.
I hope so.
And you're gonna write your first song within 2 months. I'm telling you. You learn chords. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna bring this over. We're gonna jam. How's that sound?
We gotta make it work. I got a drum set back here. We'll make it happen.
Just be patient. That's all I ask.
Nah, I've been patient my whole life. I'm still waiting to get laid.
Mikey and your kids. No, your kids and Mike. Mikey's kids and you.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I
appreciate you, man, so much.
Nah, dude, this was a blast, and anyone still tuning into this nonsense, thank you so much.
Why?
Dude, we have some loyal ass listeners. I think Callie and Jay are still on. Dude, we have some loyal listeners. I saw some listeners from your side jumping on. You seem to know them. It was awesome, man. It was a great time. I'm glad we did this. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Be good. Oh.
Yep. Now on the clock, it's the end of the Corner Pub Philly podcast stream. See you guys. Thank you.